And that's
Hello,
how I won a
everybody.
Nobel Prize. Anyway,
For pants.
Comfy work pants.
Yeah.
they are comfy work pants.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Disastronauts. It's already a disaster, so we're living to our name. We're going to jump right into it.
Dad always said I couldn't. Here I am.
Wait, I mean, you are his biggest disappointment.
That's debatable. He had 2 sons.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, guys. We're glad to have you here. We're ready to jump right into it. We're going to start off with a quick recap of the events so far from last week. The crew of the BD 514 taking on a contract for a man by the name of Lord Sinjin picked up a supply of munitions for a large hobgoblin army known as the Gideron Authority. Traveled to the planet of the moon of Voxel to drop off the supplies at the labor camp. Met up with a resistance officer who was in disguise, a dwarven man by the name of Vog Minebrewer, who asked for help.
Did we know that was his name? I
think
feel like
I think he gave you at least his name was Vog. I think he told you that.
Aster would have taken the piss out of him if he knew his whole name.
He approached you with a simple request. Help at least drop off some of the supplies with resistance, and they would pay you for it. To which you made some hasty changes to the contract that you received from Edge Corp to make it look like everything was legit and above board. And you went off. We should mention that Aster, you noticed that there were some ships from your old fleets there, as well as a individual carrying or showcasing off some battle droids that look very similar to Caesar. Maybe even better.
The patent, while it's pending, I think I can still follow up with a lawsuit.
That's
here,
right.
So
And
I'm
I
gonna
look
work on something.
forward to the day in People's Court. It's gonna be great.
Judge Juby, I'm ready.
So
she's also an otter person.
You boarded up on one of the hover trucks, or the 2 hover trucks that you had filled with crates, and made your way towards what was the armory, supposedly, for the Gideron Authority. Along the way, an altercation. You took advantage of an opportunity when you saw the fork in the road to drop off some stuff at the resistance camp. To do so without causing much attention or bringing much attention onto yourself. A diversion tactic that quickly and and very rapidly got out of hand as as Aster was thrown off the truck and snow was falling on the other truck, and suddenly there was a big explosion. Uh, Warning alarms from the camp below. One of the hobgoblins had managed to possibly reach out to let them know something was amiss. And as we ended last session with as Mark was going to pick up Aster with an intercopter coming over the horizon, blowing up the truck behind you, and Vog jumping into the driver's seat of the truck, going, "We got to get out of here! Go, go! We got to go!" And that's where we're coming into tonight's session, with everyone hopping back into the truck, Vog just hitting the acceleration, and you guys taking off. Those of you in the back of the truck, you quickly see coming over the ridge of this. You're on a narrow mountain passageway. You got sheer mountain cliff to the right, and just a straight drop off to your left. From behind you, coming from around the bend, you see 2 more intercopters coming around. Go ahead and give me a perception check, those of you in the back of the truck.
Mark, can you turn the box, please? I can't see out of the aisles. There's nothing here. I'm looking at a wall right now.
Is this better?
No, that's the front of the truck. You got to turn all the way around.
I turned 360 degrees.
That's not exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna roll this with a disadvantage.
Okay. Not a difficult check.
Look at a mark there. See that 360 degree turn?
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah, that's a 10 for me.
Solid.
Right. So Arnott, Aster, I mean, you can see the intercopters coming around the bend. It looks to be you don't see any heavy artillery like the first one, with the laser cannon. You can see these are smaller and possibly more like transport. Mark, you can see that there are 3 passengers in each of these two copters. Um, Two of which you can see from a certain as it comes around the bend on the back side. You can see 2 are in the back, and they're getting ready to like they're getting harnesses put on, and you can see some rope. All 3 of you, though, as you're noticing this from the fiery wreckage of the ship of the hover truck behind you, uh, billowing out with an arc and some speed behind it, from the smoke and the plumes and the flame, a smaller like an ATV type hover vehicle that just comes over the back of it and it starts tailing you guys from behind. You are being chased.
Um. Okay. Once Mark turns Aster in a direction he can look out the back, I would like to distracting hack on one of the copters. I want
Okay,
to try to
so-
distract the driver.
All right, is there a distance on that?
It is just within 30 feet of an enemy you can see.
All right, go ahead and do that. But at this point, I need initiative rolls from everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Okey-doke. I think I will also be trying to intervene here if possible.
Mechanical fuck shit
Ooh.
is what I.
That's
I
the
would like-
technical terminology, I believe.
Right. Mechanical
Fancy.
tomfoolery.
Oh, sorry, my sheet got put behind there we go. Okay.
All right, so this is like a bluff, but it just uses computers. So I'm hacking into the copter to distract the driver, and whatever happens, happens.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Hoofda.
How's a 29?
Big ol' solid.
What are your thoughts on that?
29 is a pretty good roll.
It is.
Is
I would call it a incredible roll. In fact.
So here's what
Personally.
happens. Of these 2 copters, both of them are actually moving a little bit faster than you at this point. They can easily keep in tow or keep in speed with you or pass you. You could probably think. These 2 copters are coming around the bend. As you're reaching out to do your distance hack on the copter, you got your data pad out and you're looking through the peephole, typing furiously. You do manage you manage to find that connection with one, and it is just as these 2 copters are getting over the top of the truck. Uh, the other you two not Astor, Arnie
Caesar?
and Mark,
Oh, okay.
you see one of the in one of the copters, one of the drivers violently lurch as it's coming closer towards the the cliff face. Just as all these guys in the back are going to jump out. So 4 hobgoblins you see in full battle tactical gear coming down on these ropes. The 2 in the copter that you just hacked, all 3, the copter, the 2 hobgoblins, everybody just violently slams into the cliffside wall. And there's a rocketed explosion. I need everybody to make a not dexterity saving throw, but reflex save.
All right.
I'm in a box. Am I fine? Do I have to be? I guess mine.
You can roll a piloting check for Caesar. Oh wait, no, he's not piloting.
No.
Vog is driving. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
I got to do a piloting check.
Oh, Mark saved me. I think. I think
Yeah.
we're okay.
And just
Rough roll there for old Arnott.
I just saw that dice go.
Right. As fast as that helicopter into the fucking cliff face.
The entire hover
Yes.
truck just violently shakes as this explosion goes off. Arnott, you are considered flat-footed for the remainder of your turn.
Alrighty.
But you have successfully taken out an entire intercopter and a trio of hobgoblins with that one move there, Aster. And you would take time to celebrate, but it is just at this point that all 3 of you see these ropes come down and these 2 hobgoblins land on the back of the truck with guns pointed at you.
Open the box.
Aster,
Open
I'm-
the box. Open the box. Get it open, please.
I'm gonna go. I'll consider that roll for piloting check on that was Vog's turn. So Mark, you are up. I can go ahead and show you now what you see here.
With hearts full of hate, they fawn on one another, devising ways to crush their opponents. They bow before them. And I'm going to throw the box that Asterix in with my mental ability at one of them.
I assume as it starts to levitate. Like, let's not be hasty now,
Hold on.
Mark. I mean, like we're friends, right? Like me and you and I are friends, right? Like us together are friends. Like you don't got to do this sort of. Oh yes.
Don't
I
miss.
love this idea.
You will be
Yeah,
fine.
definitely don't miss.
I'm trying desperately to like break the lid off as he's like floating me.
All right, so go ahead and make that attack roll.
All right. Nope.
Should be the little dice next
Yeah.
to it.
The one. There you go.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
14.
14
It's only a +1.
just hits, but it hits.
All right. So it's a D6 of damage to the box as well as the top goblin.
All right,
Does
go
that
ahead and roll your
include
damage.
me? Do I take damage?
I'm hoping
Actually, yeah,
no.
yeah. Oh, well, we'll find out. Yeah.
So 6 damage.
Can I try to like like when people say that the best way to like not get injured if an elevator's falling is to jump at the last minute? I want to try to like duck and roll at the last
It is
minute.
not where I thought this was heading. I love it though. It's like, oh yeah, like be totally loose and like limp or something. No,
Right,
it's
no. Can
that
I try
works.
a
I
reflex
think that
save?
works.
Tell you what, here, old Asterix. Why don't you give me a?
Computers check, right?
You mean acrobatics check?
Fuck. Do I
In
have
a
that? I don't even have that.
Acrobatics check.
Oh, did I roll it? No, I didn't. Okay.
Twice.
No, I did.
Yeah.
You did. 15 though. So yeah, your little maneuver here, you calculate quickly in the short amount of time. To
I'm like Rain Man. The
Yeah.
levels are
Yeah,
like
sure.
appearing in front of my face. It's the
Mark is just like, you may want to brace.
I'm trying to look at this from the
Wait,
hobgoblin's
Mark,
point of view.
oh.
This loader droid just hurls a box at him. The box explodes in his face, dealing damage, and then suddenly there's this goblin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, are we doing
hoping.
the Jackbox Gambit again?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm upset. That had all of my things in it.
Yeah, just a bunch of computer parts just flay all over the ground behind
8
the...
tracks.
Oh yeah, there is
and
all kind of
Yeah.
world junk in there too.
old Radio Shack, contents just flying around the room.
That's
Probably a
why it
few
did 6
things.
damage.
Like
An
I
old
Bro, yeah,
said,
VCR
it's like a
flies
fucking
out the back of the truck.
frag grenade. Like all the fragmentations just fucking old
VCR, man. That'll
Right.
do some damage. You throw that at somebody.
But yes, yeah, you managed to get him a direct hit. The box shatters. Aster, you are now free and now directly in front of this goblin or this hobgoblin right here.
I would like to move up
Okay.
there.
That's good to me.
How do I actually move?
There you go. I got you.
Oh,
I
okay,
just had to
cool.
confirm it.
Neat.
Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it. I go, are you all right?
No, I'm not fucking all right. You threw me in a box full of computer parts.
I'm gonna
He holds
dust
up
you
his
off.
arm. There's a floppy disk like stuck into his arm.
That cost me good credits. Just like
yeah, well,
huffs
it's
and
not
ducks
gonna
back
read
on
much
the
unless you like Raining Blood by Slay It.
All right. From your
It's a
camera,
classic, actually.
from your cam on Caesar, you can see the first entercopter with the gun that arrived before the other two is now keeping pace on the side with the hover truck that you're now in, and the one lone trooper in here is going to take a fire at the driver of the truck. So he's
Luckily,
gonna
that's
fire
not
down.
Caesar.
Yeah, you do see it happen to Caesar.
Oh,
Socrates called popular beliefs boogeymen.
I don't think this is the time to be
That-
waxing poetical.
Is that all?
And that is definitely going to hit him. Cool.
Cool.
All right.
No, it's bad.
Cold as
That's
ice.
fine. Not a problem, I'm sure.
Good to know. Vog is not doing too hot. But as that is going on, in the back, the two hobgoblins, one just got a space goblin in his face. Reaches down and grabs one in front of you. Aster is gonna pull off this from his belt, this like serrated blade, and is just gonna stab towards you and just trying to figure out what's going on. Let me get on him. Real
Hey, let's
quick.
not be too hasty now. Like, I was just in a box. I don't know them. I'm not part of them. I don't know. Please don't hurt me. Please, God, don't
We
fucking
had
hurt me.
no idea there was a goblin in that box.
Seven is gonna
I
miss you.
swear.
So
I
you're good
knew
there.
the goblin was there.
Damn it, Mark.
And the one beside him, the one who does not currently have a goblin in his face, is going to use his rifle and also point at this thing that just exploded out of the box and take a fire at him.
Shoot it! Shoot it!
Oh my god!
That also
It's
misses
moving.
you. This was a well decided, a well planned out distraction.
Sure is.
Arnott, you are up.
Planned out. Yeah.
I ran 648 million scenarios before choosing to throw the box.
Really?
Yeah, we're all
and
of
that's
them
what you
throwing the
landed
box.
on. Throwing the box with all of my wonderful
85% of them
Um,
ended up in asterisk being thrown off the truck.
That sounds about right.
There was a
actually.
15% chance that I was gonna be thrown out the fucking back.
No, there was a
No.
15% chance that you weren't going
Correct.
to be thrown out.
Oh, no, you know, now that I think about it, fuck you, Mark.
And then I think that Arnott is going to duck down. I assume that this crate's,
Yes.
you know, like half as tall as he is or something like that.
You get
I don't
partial
know.
cover.
Yeah, okay. So he's gonna like drop down fully behind it, and he is going to cast remote operation, the only
Ooh.
spell he ever casts.
And what does that do?
Assuming that I'm within 60 feet of that there hover truck, which I don't know how to measure things, because
The
I'm
one that's
incompetent.
chasing behind you?
Sorry, not the flying the
The intercopter.
whatever. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Zoomy air bit one, you know.
Right, that's
thing.
the technical
I got
term.
words. I know those.
Surely the technical term.
But if that's within 60 feet there, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Is it right click on a thing to target it?
Control click.
Oh, you mean the one up in the front?
Yeah, sorry, the
Oh,
thing
okay.
flying up ahead of us. That's if it's within 60 feet, he can attempt. You know, you can cast the spell to act as though he's touching the controls of a vehicle or a computer.
It's going to be close. We can find out though. Let's see.
Yeah, and that's I don't know what. And if not, then he would be trying to hit
you
the
were
other.
just in range.
I thought it was close. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go for it.
Then he will. He'll be. Let me find the spell and link it here. But then he is going to do his best to crash that immediately, like straight down into the cliff side, but
Cool.
you know, like below the road part we're driving on.
Copying is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yes, is a wonderful strategy you had there.
So yeah, you reach out and as you concentrate, you reach out towards the to the intercopter, keeping in pace with you. You reach out, and everyone around you can see this as well. As you reach in, and you can feel the computer systems and the controls and just your natural instinct as a pilot. This holographic image of the targeting control system, the piloting control system of the intercopter appear before you. You can now use these controls that just kind of lay out right in front of you, like you're almost like you're in a pilot seat right now.
Sure.
To now, as if you were actually controlling that intercopter.
Okay, so is it a move action for me to fly into the ground, or do I need to wait until next turn to do that?
Technically, that was only a standard action to cast that,
right?
And it was successful, so you still have your move action.
So he will go ahead and expend his movement to pilot that into the ground.
All right, let's see.
Down the mountain a bit, hopefully. Not
what is
into
the
the
movement
truck.
speed of a intercopter? That is a good question.
600
Ah,
feet,
Imagine
you say?
decent.
Kyle, I lost the battle map. I accidentally
Not a
closed
problem. I can share that with you
it.
again.
Okay, there we go.
Good question here. Let's see here. They have a movement of. If they go a full round of movement, which thankfully you don't get a full round, it would be 450 feet. Uh, but it does travel at 50 miles per hour, and you just tank the controls downward.
Yeah.
You can see on the display port for Caesar, just as cop just disappeared below you and goes down. You don't know if you crashed into anything, but it is going down now at this point.
Excellent.
All right.
Yeah, I'll maintain that. That's I think that's all Arnott has for his turn. That's standard action in that move.
All right, Caesar. I need Caesar to make a piloting check.
Am I driving now?
Oh wait, no, damn, you're right. Fuck. I don't know why I keep thinking because last session he was driving.
He was.
He was.
Yeah.
He
that's
got
true.
pushed aside.
That's
when
right.
The, when the guy
Yeah,
took over.
he left to help with the combat maybe or something.
I think
remember either way.
he was fighting the guy next to him. Yeah, and he
Gotcha.
walked
Yep.
around the vehicle.
Yep. All right. So what would you like to do then?
Is there like a window in
To
the cockpit to look in the back, kind of like
yes,
a truck?
yes, there is. Yep.
Can I open it?
How do you want to open it?
Break it with the butt of my gun.
You break it.
Okay.
No problem.
Caesar just.
So Caesar and Aster go on the same turn. Can I move Aster as well? We move on the same initiative.
Well, in that case, we'll just say this was happening at the same time as Aster. I'll move him up. I didn't realize you had the same initiative order. I'll fix
Yeah,
that right now.
he's always just on my initiative,
There
like
you
a battle master pet.
Then there you go.
Getcha.
Go ahead and do your Caesar move then.
All right. So first and foremost, Aster is going to duck to the right. Oh, I guess he can't. Oh shit.
Oh, you're up on that box or whatever.
No, I'm just in front of two enemies who are both scary. So
That's
I
good.
will
Yeah.
simply.
Now you can always take a 5-foot step and not provoke anything.
That's true. Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh my God. This game has the 5-foot step.
I'll take a 5-foot step backwards
Sweet
behind
Jesus.
Mark. And I'll take a shot at Trooper 3 with
for it.
Aster. I told you not to swing on me. It was a big mistake. Now look who's got the gun in your face. You see, it's a whole problem. And he's gonna blah blah blah. 16.
16 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Nice, rolling
Woo.
hot.
Nice. Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah.
And then as he shoots, he'll look down at his at his multi-tool, and you'll hear the glass shatter in the front of the cockpit. And Caesar will crumble his way through the window.
Oh my God, it's Terminator over here.
Right.
I love that so much.
So he can either move or shoot. So, we won't move. I'll take a pot shot, potentially. Let's see the range.
Like 55.
Ooh. All right. Maybe he won't take a pot shot. He will just walk through instead.
Okay.
And he'll come up to cover right here.
Yep. Gotcha.
And Aster will spend his time making himself as small as he possibly can behind Mark.
Awesome.
Cool.
Anything else?
That'll be it.
All right. Next up is Vog. Vog's got to make a piloting check.
Meow.
Ooh, that's not good. Truck behind you makes a piloting check. Total 20. So as the hover, the ATV hover that hurled over the top of the crash behind you, you can see now has been keeping pace with you. But at this particular moment, I guess there might be some turbulence in the with some wind or some difficulty on the path. But Vog has slowed down just a little bit enough for this ATV to come up and just ram into the back of the truck. I need everybody to make reflex saves, including the hobgoblin.
Oh no.
Oh man. Oh, it's so
Oof.
bad.
All right.
I'm okay.
Aster, you are not flat-footed this round. You managed to secure yourself against the rocking of the hover truck. The rest of you are finding difficulty keeping your footing. Mark, you're now up.
Plainly, no situation is better suited for the practice of philosophy than the one you're now in. And I'm going to
Perfect.
gauge my staff and then take a swing at the hobgoblin.
Go for it.
Make them feel their bodies. Do that thing. Do the thing you did to me. Make them taste what their organs feel like.
Unfortunately, I am out. I have used up that ability for the day.
Oh, good. Perfect. Why are you even here? To lug me around on the box, Domi? That it?
I think I rolled a
Can
12.
I carry that for you?
Wait,
12, unfortunately, does not hit.
did I do that right?
It looked like it rolled twice for you. Yeah, that first
But
one was a 12.
Okay. I don't think I
Which
should
one?
get -2.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it's
doesn't
because your
seem right.
strength.
Oh,
No, my strength is a 12. I should get a +1.
Oh.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Something's not going.
Oh, you
right
hit
with that.
full attack.
Oh.
What is that?
Ooh,
So
it's
you
a
just
full
want to hit
round
the one,
action.
like, if you're looking at it, it should
That
be
one?
the roll.
Okay,
That
9
is
still
correct.
That
doesn't
actually
hit.
rolled
Yes,
right.
there we
Nine
go.
At least.
9 does not hit, so I miss.
What's that first one? Would have technically been a 16 if it had rolled
I would
right?
say
But
the
either way.
first one because you just rolled the
Yeah.
wrong thing.
But that's Kyle, your call, obviously.
Yeah.
The one that got rolled
There
right
were some
was a 9.
confusions. I will go
Yeah.
off the first roll.
Yeah.
The first roll you would
That's
have
favorable.
hit. Yeah.
I appreciate
My
that.
favorite
Yeah,
stage
me
of
too.
grief. Please.
Yeah.
Whack.
Max damage.
There we go.
And this is the one that has already been bombarded pretty heavily.
Yep.
Yeah. So at another 5 points damage, you in fact, it's not really so much of a hit. Like you do hit with some force, but it's enough to you also kind of like you do a little push.
Yeah.
And already in a few short moments, with a box hitting him in the face, a goblin springing out and attacking him, and then you stepping forward and just hitting him with this pole, it's enough. He was very caught off guard. He just tumbles out of the back of the truck. There's a Wilhelm scream, and he is out of sight.
He gets rolled over by the ATV coming up the hill right behind
Right.
us. Yeah.
So that one is now gone.
Grind it up into beef.
I was not able to
Yes.
make him feel all of his body, but very specific parts for a short period of time.
Yeah, I guess you did kind of what I asked. So well done. I still don't forgive you for the box dog thing, but that's okay.
You're forgiven.
That's not what.
I don't either.
That's not. Can you do that to the other one, please? And then we'll talk about our friendship later.
Speaking of the other one, it's going to turn towards you, Mark, and now fire at you.
Oh dear.
Caesar's like hiding in your shadow. Like,
Does a 16 hit your EAC?
Oh yeah.
All right. Then you take 4 points of fire damage.
I'm
and
pretty hurt.
And that's it. That's it. That's all I can do in this
Oh,
turn.
okay.
He will step forward. It was not a critical hit, so it does not do extra damage.
I am injured. I am critically injured. I am
Alright.
injured. I am
That one's
critically
gone.
injured.
That one's gone. Arnott, you're up.
All right. Yes. So as far as did I drive the
You still yeah, this is a concentration thing, so you still have the controls in front of you.
if it ever
still
goes
have-
out of range, I lose it though.
Oh,
so
well,
if
then you
I,
are out and it's out of range now.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it went down, then I would have lost it there. But yeah, either way. Did he confirm that it did crash? Does he know for sure
You
one
don't
way or the
know.
other? Okay.
No.
I feel like we would have
then-
heard it.
Yeah, that's probably true. But there have been a lot of thuds and bumps and shaking
Right.
stuff. So who's to say?
A lot of boxes thrown
regardless.
around
Yeah.
with and without goblins inside of them.
I think Arnott is going to. Yeah. He'll just he'll stand up, turn his pull out his I think it's is it swift action to pull to? No, that's probably with shit. What's withdrawing or like drawing a weapon? Is that an action?
That's like
of
a
some
swift
kind?
action. Yeah.
Okay.
No one
I've
cares
got
about
too many
those.
of these in my bouncing around in my head
I
now.
play a little more loosey goosey than most people.
Yeah,
Okay,
we don't
okay.
have encumbrance, you know.
Right.
Stupid
So,
mechanic.
he would, sorry, stand up, spin around, kind of step up, to the, this trooper here, and then he's going to take a stab at him with his,
Go for it.
blade. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was targeting Mark. I just realized that. Okay. This whole time.
He's critically damaged.
He is.
He's damaged.
We're gonna
Critically
have to mend
injured.
it. Mending him.
Mend me,
Papa,
Sorry.
mend me.
Papa.
God in heaven. One of these days, I'll remember how to maneuver this dang old thing. Okay. Sorry.
Not a problem.
Oh, solid. That is a 1 on the die anyway.
Ooh,
So I
Yeah.
believe that does not do it.
That unfortunately does not. You go and you make your swing at him, and just you're footing on the this crate was already kind of just a little off put.
And we also hit a
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah, rocking the road. You stumble a little bit, and you would have been a good hit, but just that sheer bit of
Who's
unluck.
driving this thing?
A dying dwarf, I'm pretty sure.
Well, he should get it together.
Aster, back to you.
I'm gonna pop out of the shadow and take another shot at him.
All right. As you're doing that, you notice the scenery changes just a little bit around you as you continue down this mountain path. You've made your way onto what is now seems to be like a reinforced steel bridge that's going over a natural chasm.
I don't know why it rolled me twice. I don't know why it
You're-
keeps doing that.
you're doing advantage for some reason.
I think it's because I hold control to talk.
That's exactly what it
Might be
is.
why.
Yep.
But regardless, neither of them hit.
All right. What about Caesar?
Caesar will, however, take a shot as well.
Go for it.
This fucking thing must be jammed. Someone else do something. Caesar, do something.
That will hit.
Ooh.
Their EAC is not that great.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a good boy, Caesar. Well done.
Boom.
He's got one.
Yeah, you
point
just hear
left.
the from the top of the cabin.
Holy shit. Please. Careful with that.
Yeah, he's like right over your shoulder.
Yeah, you like pellets graze through your hair.
That's fine.
Oh,
You know where
right.
we're going. We don't need bodies.
Turns out Vog's a terrible pilot.
Dying dwarf.
Yeah,
He's
pretty
going
much.
to be getting a bad
the
review.
the hover cart or the hover truck is rocketed again as this ATV is just right up on your heel. It hasn't let up at all. Just causing all kind of confusion. You're still considered flat-footed. Oh no, you gotta make your reflex saves again. Never mind. Go
Gotcha.
ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Oh, and Aster's moving back up to the cabin to try to take over now that he feels like shit's getting.
Nat
Ooh.
20. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're rolling
Getting
20.
together. I'm about that.
I'm not.
Sucks.
4.
Bro.
Solid
All right.
4.
So you begin making your way back up. I would say during this movement, you can only get about halfway there.
That's fair.
Yeah, so you're right there beside Caesar now. Well, the other two, you managed to regain your footing. You were not held off here.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Caesar aren't doing great.
Yeah,
He's just
Caesar-
holding on to each other. Like,
Yeah, for support, right? We're just
Yeah.
holding hands.
Emotional support, not
Right.
physical. Yeah.
Mark,
Obviously,
I-
that's not
nodding
working.
protocols on.
Guy has
Alright.
1 health point left.
I am going to take my pole and levitate it and then throw it at him.
Okay.
I didn't think about that.
It's hilarious.
Like a javelin.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
A blunt javelin.
That's
Just
my
way
Xbox
more
gamer
brutal.
tag. Blunt javelin.
20.
Don't even matter. Don't worry about rolling the damage. How do you want to knock this guy out off ship? How do you want to do this?
I am going to send the pole up and then straight down through the top of his head.
Ah,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Spinectomy.
Yeah.
Finish him.
I believe
yeah.
his
You look back
vitals have
up and
ceased.
Aster's like covering Caesar's eyes.
Yeah, with a flick of your robotic wrist, the pole goes up into the air. You manage to maintain. You've calculated the speed and trajectory and the velocity of your traveling, so it stays with you, and it just slams back down on top of this guy's head. Luckily, the one part of his body was not fully completely covered in armor. You found that one penetrable spot,
Yeah, where the
and
antenna
he is shish kebabbed into the flooring of this hover truck. A monument to your brutality.
That's my metal band.
I
But
am
with that, the immediate danger is with the exception of the ATV that is still behind you. At least any you look around, you still don't see the other intercopter. You There's no current other. There's like the two hobgoblins on the ATV behind you. They're just keeping pace and just trying to cause a distraction. Right
Okay.
now, combat is technically over, but we're going to stay in initiative because there's some things that may or may not happen here.
Gotcha.
So anything else you want to do, Mark?
I am going to retrieve my pole from the man's spinal column.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna just try to do that by just like just and then pulling. Just pulling.
Oh, that is grotesque.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a great way to die. Like overall.
It's probably like quick enough, I guess, at that point.
His vitals
ahead.
ceased when I replaced his spinal column with this half-inch of aluminum piping.
It does seem to be a rather brutal surgery. Most
Clearly,
wouldn't
he was
survive.
not ready for cybernetics.
You mean we roll strength or
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and strength. Strength.
21.
You pull his spine out.
Oh,
Yeah, it's rattling around in the middle of the pole.
It really is. You slam your robotic fist into his carapace and just yank your pole out. Wording.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Still doing that
There is
phrasing
a
thing.
sickening, slick, wet sound, as viscous and just
Spinal fluid and all the
spinal fluid, all kinds of fluid and meats. As this hobgoblin is just eviscerated into two,
kind of. Yeah. It's,
bones breaking, rib cage shattering.
yeah.
As this pneumatic powered rope, blood powered, well, it's still pneumatic. Just pull the pole out.
Like I broke his hip bone doing that.
Go ahead and, as this is happening. I know you can't take your eyes off it, but go ahead and everybody give me perception checks.
Sure. I do have a strategy for the ATV as well here.
I also have a strategy for the ATV.
It's conveniently the same one that I've used.
Yeah, mine is also.
everything.
Mine also is. It's funny that you should say that.
Yeah.
There's 2 ATVs, right?
It's just the one.
I think there's
the
two people
one.
on the one.
Two people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we combine our powers like the fucking Wonder Twins?
I think I'll just let you handle it if you're
Fusion.
going, oh, by all means.
Form of hacking.
So,
Shape
couple
of
things here.
What am I doing?
Murder.
Perception. Jesus, sorry.
Yep.
Space
Couple of
out.
things here. Everybody can see looking around, glancing about. There is up ahead the road you're traveling on now. You can see goes into some sort of tunnel system through the mountain. That is coming up very quickly. Luckily, Aster, with your 25 and uh, your knowledge of engineering and computers. Actually, you know what? Really, you and Mark would see this. The currently reinforced bridge that is spanning over this chasm you are on. You can see up ahead the intercopter that you engaged with earlier. Are not managed to, after it got out of range of you, managed to regain its controls, and had sped ahead and had fired at the bridge. There is now a gaping hole in the road of the bridge ahead of you that you are now approaching.
Is it rampable?
Calculating.
You're
critical.
You're likely going to be
information.
calculating for a while. I think death like 1,000 times is probably what you're going to get. Aster is running toward the cockpit right now.
Okay. So yeah, you get up there. You see Vog. Vog he's a bit wounded. He's got one hand on the wheel. He's steering away.
I'm gonna hop into his lap. All
Oh
right,
God!
all right.
I
Yeah,
think we're all gonna die.
likely. But you let me take the controls, so you keep the gas on. My little feet can't reach it.
Can I like jam the pole into, or can I take a 5 feet step over, jam the pole into the bed of the truck, and then grab Arnott?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Hang on, Arnott.
All
Sorry,
right,
what?
So you get down as you two are doing that. You plop down in the dwarf's lap. He hits the gas. You're holding on the steering wheel. The hole is coming. Go ahead and make your piloting check.
okay.
This may be a bump.
15.
Oof.
15. DC 15.
Oh.
So you hit the gas, and
Let's fucking
there's a moment there where you're like, oh God, I don't know that you're calculating the weight of the truck and all the boxes and everything that you're carrying, and you're like, shit, gotta do it. And he's hitting the gas, and there's
I
a
want
moment
it to
where you
be
just
like the jump is a little curved, so when we go full 360 circle over the pit.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Like,
I like
me and Arnott
cinematics.
are like...
He's driving on the wall for like
So
a second, and then
time
it flips.
slows down, the sound
course.
stops. There's a moment where the truck is in midair over this chasm hole on the bridge, and there's a moment where you're thinking, "Oh shit, I don't know if I'm going to make it." And then sound catches back in. You swerve a little bit. There's boxes just tumbling everywhere in the back, but you're holding on to them, and you got the pole in, so you're pretty secure back there. Some of the boxes tumble over. You see just piles of these laser rifles and frag grenades just fall out and just tumble out, and just some of them are falling out of the boxes onto the road. All of you look behind. Those of you in the back look behind you. You see the ATV. It tries to make the jump too. Make a roll for it.
If there's time anywhere in there, Arnott was going to use
do have-
his last remote operation on that.
Go
if
for
it's
it. I
close
know
enough
exactly
to
what
just,
you're gonna do.
Midair.
run them off the
Do it
circle.
fucking
yeah.
midair.
Put it
Yeah,
into
if they're
the
close
hole.
enough,
Yeah,
it would
just-
absolutely like
close
have them
enough.
miss the tunnel or something.
Just
Yeah.
apply up the brake right before, and just like, yeah, they're making
They
speed.
both
Cut the
fly off.
throttle. Yeah.
Just-
Just
parking
to
brake.
double check on this remote operation. It doesn't say there's a role you have to make. It's just you take control over it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's-
So easily enough.
It's fucking madness. Level 1 spell. I own your vehicle now.
I will say, go
That's
just give me
weird.
a concentration check.
Sure, absolutely. Because
You are flailing in the wind
chaos,
right now.
Yeah.
Out there. Is that just a con
Yeah,
thing?
con,
Okay. I'm not good at that. Just
Perfect.
heads up, everybody.
Just I was looking for a 10. That's all I was looking
Alright.
for.
Oh my god.
We out here
So-
getting C's, boys.
Yeah,
we don't
right.
have to pass. We just don't have to fail.
Get degrees. All right.
You guys
that's what it
land. The truck swerves. You manage to maintain control over it. As the two of you look behind, you see the ATV go to make the jump. You with quick of mind and quickly reach out with your mind and grab a hold of the controls. This little
Just
holographic
the
image appears before you,
throttle.
and you just hit the brake, and just as they go to make the jump, and they start off kind of impressive and just down into the pit.
Everyone
alive
back there?
However, there's still an intercopter on your tail,
Fuck.
but the tunnel is quickly approaching. So, for sake of you're about at the tunnel now, the truck's going to make it in no problem. But if you can find a way to distract this intercopter,
Funnily
maybe-
enough, I have a thing
It's
that I'd
almost
like to
as
do.
if,
Can
yeah.
I see it in my rearview mirror?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then I have line of sight, meaning, oh, your cat, adorable. Super cute.
Space
Do
cat.
Space cat, love it. I'm going to use distracting hack on them
Go
to
for it.
try to distract the driver as they're about to go into the tunnel, try to follow us.
Well, as you do this, you quickly surmise that this tunnel might be too small for the intercopter as well.
Ooh. Well, as they're coming close to the cliff edge, then how about that?
Absolutely. So you do your distracting hack. Is there a roll for that?
How's it natural
Natural
20?
20, absolutely
With
easily
a
enough
30.
to do. So while maintaining control of the, well, I think you probably passed control back over to Vog at this point.
Yeah.
The hover
Still
hover
sitting
truck,
on his lap for some reason.
speeds into the tunnel and disappears from view. as you reach out and distracting Hack. The intercopter following you, it's right behind you. He's lining up his laser uh, cannon to fire at you, and at that point, you do distracting Hack, and the
Goblin
acceleration is
porn
hit
pops up
instead.
all over, like it takes over all of the digital controls, and it's
What the
just
hell?
like
It's jarring.
it's jar, and it's
You
all
know?
like really loud screamers too, like
The last thing you see as you disappear into the tunnel is this intercopter driving full speed towards the rocky outcropping of of the mountainside. There is a exploding sound, explosion. The tunnel is rocketed. You see tumbles of rock fall down onto the road behind you. You guys manage to make it into the tunnel and avoid confrontation. Well, not confrontation, but avoid getting captured again by the Gridiron Authority. You are now out of combat and safe from harm.
we surely didn't avoid confrontation, but we
No.
sure as hell cleared that confrontation.
You
right?
did
That's right.
in a very cinematic way, I might add.
Yeah.
This was like the Fast and the Furious.
Right.
Are not. I am critically injured.
I've lost a significant amount of very wonderful artifacts and relics, and the rest of them are just buried in piles of mess back. He's just standing up and like kicking rifles around or whatever. But yeah, then he'll go about using mending to assist.
Aster will hop out of the cockpit and come back, and as you're mending, he'll take out the piece of bubble gum he's been chewing, and he'll start repairing anything he can with bubble gum and like random pieces of metal box around.
Yup.
What am I but a little flesh, a little breath, and the thinking part that rules the whole?
You're actually
You
a
have
lot more than
flesh,
that. You don't have
too?
flesh, also. Yeah.
I mean, you have blood. We've established that.
Creepily, yeah. You
No,
got blood.
I do have a little flesh. I'm gonna pick off some of the goblin that I got on me after
yes.
pulling
Hobgoblin.
yeah, hobgoblin that I've got on me after pulling my stick out of it.
Ooh.
I
Oh yeah,
said
so you got an
little bit
ear
of
here
flesh.
in your knee joint. Let me get that out
Yes.
for you.
Quite unsettling, actually. I didn't mean like in your possession.
You know, this is all good and fun, but we might be running into a problem now. It appears that we have in fact assaulted and murdered a vast majority of the army we were supposed to be providing weapons to. And not only
What?
that, but we've now kicked out like 50 boxes full of weapons.
I'm sorry. I believe that we've been taken prisoner by several, in an unfortunate rebel assault. Is what I'm under the
That-
impression has occurred here.
You know, you've opened my eyes. You're right. It's a very horrible situation we're in. Should I go kill the dwarf now, or should we wait?
You know I'm standing right here.
Hey, who's driving then?
Oh my god.
Oh, you're in my lap. I can hear you.
No, I
That's a
crawled
good
out the
point.
back.
Yeah, I
out the
called
back.
at the back.
Oh my god. That's way funnier to think about
Yeah,
him
he's
having
sitting-
that
no, you're right.
conversation on
He's
the
still sitting in
voice.
his lap.
Yeah.
Looking
Caesar
over
was the
his
one who went and
shoulder
put
at the
bubble
guy.
gum and stuff.
So, yeah.
Oh,
great.
hey, you know, just I was just thinking about you. Weird.
Kill him or, yeah.
Well, you know, are you gonna be able to pay us what we were after? Because I don't think our company cares who's getting it as long as the pay's good.
Well, there are
Well-
several extenuating circumstances, situations, and clauses and such. Perhaps we can claim some sort of issue out of our control.
Well,
Sorry.
I can't really speak for the resistance as a whole, but we are almost at our base of operations, and you can speak with Anya, and I'm sure she can figure it out.
How frugal is Anya?
I mean, well, we don't have a lot to begin with. We are the resistance. We have to. We don't buy our weapons. We steal them where we can get them. So
Yeah, well now you got businessmen in here, and we don't trade.
What is useless for the hive is of no use to the bee.
Right. That means that we need money, or our employer is going to kill us.
That's
We are the
no, it's
bees.
actually not far from correct.
Yeah.
well, like I said, you need to speak with Anya. She's the one who knows all the financial details of what we can afford and not afford. But luckily, we're almost there. It's right around the bend here.
If you had both a mother and a stepmother, you would treat your stepmother with respect.
You don't know my life.
What are you doing right now? What is this? you okay? Is this all the damage? Did you get like your head fucked up or something?
Asterisk.
Yeah.
I am just fine. Thank you for asking. I have
Okay.
run diagnostics 487 times after Arnott fixed me.
I mean, I helped. I put a little gum in there, I made sure things were like squeaky clean. I got that ear out of your leg.
I'm
Yes.
honestly feeling like I maybe didn't help all that much as it was. Yeah, it was like a 1 hit point recovery there from that D4 that I rolled. So
Oh,
not
nice.
super helpful, but you should be able to get your SP back at least from
Yeah.
just being right. Is that how that works? Is that out of combat? It just comes back, or do you have to spend one of the resolve?
I think you have to
Yes.
spend the resolve.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
hit dice.
While you
Something,
guys are
something,
having this
something.
conversation, though, you do see as Vog has been continuing to drive here, you do eventually around that one bend, and you do see what appears to be a makeshift compound that has been built out of. Looks like there's maybe once like a radio tower here, or some kind of station or outpost of some kind that has been very rudimentarily reinforced with like barbed wire and like steel plating, like a makeshift fence and protections. Um, this does appear to be the resistance compound. As Vogue drives up to this set of uh, plated uh, double gates, this huge gate. You see this guy on a watchtower look down. It's going to be some communication going on between Vogue and himself. The gates open up and the hover truck is brought inside. What you all notice upon arriving at the resistance space, it's about the size, give or take, of the labor camp you left from earlier. There is no helipad or like landing pads or anything here. It's a remote base, remote operation, but you do see um, off to the side and largely being left alone. There doesn't seem to be anyone bothering it. The BD 514. Somehow your ship has arrived here.
Nice.
How did you pull that off?
Right. Well, I wasn't the only one under, you know, hiding in the labor camp. I have my associates there, and when I got onto the ship, onto the hover truck with you, I sent them to your ship and had them bring it here.
That's actually not allowed. They aren't covered by the company
Yeah.
insurance. I don't have
What would you
any.
rather
I'm
than
going
have
to
left
need.
it at the grid on Earth already at the labor
Well,
camp?
I mean, it does make us seem to be more involved in all of this.
Well, no, they stole our ship, right?
Sure. Yes,
Like,
absolutely. I mean, they
there's some
have.
semantics here we've got to figure out because I don't know exactly how we're going to pull this off.
What we're gonna do is if things don't go the way we need them to go, so we can keep our livelihoods, bad things are gonna happen to all the people that you like in
I
this
mean,
area.
Bad things are already
Yeah.
happening to all the people
Yeah,
I
but,
like.
like-
That's what I came to you to begin with.
Someone wrongs
Alright.
me. Why should I care? That's his business.
You're actually involved in someone wronging you. That's why the you
Yeah.
part is a part of that whole equation.
And it's now our situation we've dealt with. We did promise to, knock a few crates off the back of,
And you've delivered
excess
a lot more than that. And for that,
supply.
I'm very thankful.
Right,
Searching
but we've
company
also been
protocol.
delivered into a very, at least waist deep pile of absolute shit.
There has to be a fucking like company protocol thing that's like if you have to choose between freedom fighters
Arnott,
and an onslaught.
as long as we file the appropriate insurance paperwork, we can claim that these freedom fighters have both stolen the equipment and held us against our will.
Absolutely, but that will take months to get through, and we'll have to, and I mean, we're likely to be held liable in the interim.
Yeah,
There-
they'll send
and that's
adjudicator too, and I hate
a
those
whole
guys.
issue. Yes, we may end up finding ourselves working, for free for several months. And
If I file triplicate psych paperwork detailing the issues that we have had, we will be able to claim leniency on both the adjudicator as well as the other paperwork. They will assign us company lawyers in order to facilitate filling out the paperwork on our behalf, as we have been permanently damaged by the events.
Oh yeah, it's
place.
the Civil War addendum. That's what it is.
Correct. 400 years ago, during the
Yeah, there was a case
bylaws,
like
they
this
go back,
before.
let me tell you.
Well, look, I'm sorry. Any kind of complications that this might have caused for you and your workplace and employment, but I would think that you should at least be somewhat happy that you've managed to help out a significant portion of people here that are trying to fight for their very freedoms.
He
Well,
feels
you've
on his
misled us.
chest something cold and iron as he looks down and sees that Aster's holding a gun to him.
Whoa, oh,
Okay,
I'm-
Asta, I'm not sure that that's exactly the most advantageous
I don't
progression
know
of
if
events here for us.
This guy might sell us out. Who knows?
Well,
I don't really know where we're at right now.
sold out.
We were
to-
taken
oh,
to a
who
secondary
exactly?
location by this guy. You know, I don't think this is exactly a great situation, but I want to make sure he knows that we still need to put food on the table, and if things don't go our way,
Well,
it'll be bad.
gentlemen,
problem.
gentlemen, please be at ease. There's no threat to your lives here. And as you look around, you see this middle-aged, like mid-30s, female,
It's
human
mid-30s,
female.
middle-aged. Oh no.
Not
Yeah,
good.
it is, dude. You're getting close.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm young and spry. 25-year-old man.
Approaches, short cropped hair, looks to be dressed in some battle regalia, pistol at her side. She walks up because, well, we have yet to be formally introduced. I'm Anya. I'm the leader of this resistance camp. Vog has told me a little bit about you through communications and whatnot. But I understand that there was an agreed upon payment, and I'm here to ensure you that you will get paid what we can pay you. I don't know what the original contract was for. I have very little dealings with Edge Corp in the past, but whatever we can provide for you, we will do so.
I am a
Mark.
transport droid. May I carry that for you?
Yes, excellent, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, you might
But
need to carry the loan we're gonna have to take out to cover this whole
here's
fucking
the
thing.
thing. Yes, this is the problem, right? We were under the impression that there were going to be some crates which fell off of these trucks. These trucks were then assaulted by many of your crewmates.
I don't think those were ours.
Taken over, correct? Was that not them?
I think that was the hobgoblins. Pretty sure.
Oh,
It was,
that
yeah.
makes more sense, actually. The Gridiron Authority.
Checks
they
out,
were
checks
all
out.
hobgoblins and stuff. No, that follows. Okay. Sorry. But no, he just said, yeah, it's like, well, here's the problem. Yeah, we've been promised to deliver a certain thing, and as long as you can take responsibility on a, professional level for disrupting our ability to deliver these goods, then I think we may be able to find our way through some of this maze of paperwork and debt that is unlikely to be heaped up.
What
that
is the
likely to be
original
heaped up
cost of
here.
the contract? How much is required?
Oh God, I don't remember. A dick load, as I recall.
Yeah,
it was a bunch of
about a
weapons.
dick and a half.
If you manage to look over the contract, if you pull it up, the original contract was for 5.4 million credits.
So sorry. Yes, 2 metric dick loads actually. 5.4 million credits.
That is quite a lot.
Indeed. Yes. So you understand the frustration our employers will be experiencing when they discover that their goods are not reaching their destined location.
Well, Vog, will you please go and address the troops? Get them outfitted with this new supply of ammunition, while I take care of this situation here. So I take care of it. He leaves. When
I
it's
get
just-
off his lap.
I assume you're out of the truck now.
I am now, yeah.
I guess.
When it's just the four of you, she goes, "All right. Well, now that we can speak a bit freely, I want to put your minds at ease slightly here. That our resistance, our fighting against the Gideron Authority is being backrolled by some pretty prominent and powerful people. I'm not allowed to disclose their names, but at least they are financing our fight. I do have a bankroll that I can pull from, a war fund, a war chest, so to speak. But I don't want to empty our coffers.
Oh, but we kind of do.
I'm afraid I cannot do that. But I am willing to and able to provide you 2 million credits for what you have provided for me today.
That is less than 5.4 million credits.
It is,
Mark's
but
right.
Your
it is
transport
far more
droid
than
has a
zero.
remarkable grasp on mathematics.
It does indeed.
He
Yes,
loves
thank
simple
you,
mathematics.
Mark. But I would point out that it is a significant amount more than 0 credits, which is what we stand to collect at the moment. There
That's
are
fair.
several forms that it might be helpful if you were able to sign for us, though, as taking sort of responsibility as pirates or brigands and such. Starts filing through his.
I am printing those forms now.
They're coming out of his
Wonderful.
stomach.
Whatever we can do, whatever
It's
I
like a
can do
dot
to
matrix.
ease your mind and make this as painless for you as possible, I'm willing to do so. In fact, this seems to be a high enough profile of a situation here that it might even get our name out more and get more people involved in our cause. So
Perfect.
if
Wonderful.
you wish for the resistance to take full responsibility for this, we will. Any paperwork you need me to sign, any videos you need me to make, I'm more than willing to.
Oh, there's a very big one.
That's
Very
excellent.
important for the company. Any information you have on those droids that they got working on the goblins that they brought here pretty recently? If you have any information on those, we need them like now. Like important.
Is the original designer of those droids and wishes to find out more in order to tell if he should gain more monetary benefits from such transactions in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through a lawyer after this, but for now, like I need like an on the ground level grasp of what's going on.
I don't exactly know what droid you're speaking of. I have not seen anything like that during the time.
Can I like holographically project a image like R2D2 of the droids that I scanned earlier? Is that a power that I might be able to possess?
It'd be like a
I think if
prestidigitation.
that's- Yeah,
sort of
that's
deal.
like one of
Yeah.
those.
I mean, you do have Caesar with you.
That's true.
He's like that. They're
Caesar
like
will
that,
just walk out of the
you
truck.
know, just a bit
Right,
more flashy.
Well, this is absolutely brand new
got
information for me
spoilers
as
and
well.
stuff.
This is the first I've seen of the Gideron Authority financing or at least acquiring droids. Thank you for this information. This is good to know.
Well, I've been thinking, if you have any people who can build certain droids, maybe you'd want to buy the blueprints that I have. Maybe
sort of
like
license them out.
right.
Yeah.
I can sell you the blueprints, and these are combat droids, mind you. These things can pump a shotgun like it's nobody's business, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, the blueprints that would be a fantastic idea. I don't know if we have the means of production though. Unfortunately, this is really our only outpost.
You have to seize them. Sorry.
I'm looking at you.
Communism.
I want you to know that's me looking at you. Seize the means of production.
But if somehow you can find ways of mass producing these robots, then absolutely, it would help our cause tremendously.
Do you have a bunch of robotics bots, perhaps?
Unfortunately, we do not. Not here, at least.
Maybe that's the problem.
It
does make it more difficult.
We could scour the city ruins. It might be a little more difficult. It will take us some time, but this is something we can talk about at a later date.
I do have an interesting question for you. How much would it be worth for you to have your hands on robots like that? Would that be something you'd be willing to pay a little bit more money for?
If the Gideron Authority is using them against us, it would serve our purpose as well to have a counterattack to that. So yes, it would be very important to me.
So if
something like that,
I were perhaps able to have those robots come under your side, under your control, this would increase the pay you'd be able to give us in return for these weapons.
Upon the arrival of these robots, certainly I will pay you for them. That's not something
That's all I need to know. All right. Anyway, you carry on talking. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to sketch some things out. And
if you could sign this for me, he's just holding a big wad of perforated dot matrix printer paper.
Take some time to read over it, but yes, I will sign any paperwork you need.
Right. Yes. No, there's about 17 different forms. Various amounts of, the involvement in the property damage, the securing of the employees, and there's a few other additionals if you wish to, sort of coerce us into working for you further that I would appreciate that you could sign for us as well.
I love that this company has paperwork for like if the employees are being coerced
Yeah.
to help with a
Have
civil
you been
war on a
taken,
planet.
have you been taken hostage by pirates and or revolutionaries?
Freedom fighter.
Yeah, like
Certainly.
The
Whatever
freedom
paperwork
fighter
you need.
clause.
the freedom fighter class.
So
Sorry.
eventually, you're led into her personal chambers of hers, and whatever paperwork needs to be signed is signed. Is there anything else you want to do while you're here at the resistance camp? Labor camp.
I want to find other robots.
Go and take a look around. Perception check.
Cultist.
You pretty much have
Oh.
full reign while you're in here. Yeah, they consider you allies.
They shouldn't, but
Hey, you know what? We put our nuts
25.
on the line here.
25. Looking around the camp, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, you find out that she was being truthful in her statements. There is not a whole lot of robotics here. There is a collection of humans, dwarves. There's some halflings. Uh, few of the more.
What is the
Uh,
most robot-like
I'm just gonna
thing?
say,
Like,
I'm picturing him talking to a vending
like a
machine or
crane?
something right
yeah,
now.
or crane, or like
A
some piece
coffee
of
maker?
construction equipment that I'm just gonna start proselytizing to.
oh man.
you find the microwave.
Yeah.
Well, like I
yeah.
said, this
Hover
is an
truck.
old radio communications tower that has been repurposed
Nice,
as
nice.
a base. And it appears the radio tower itself, the communications is no longer in use, and they don't go up there that often. But in your explorations, you could go up there.
Oh yeah,
There's
we're
an
gonna
old ham radio.
we're gonna go up there and we're gonna start talking to the radios.
Okay.
It's like the brave little
Transmitters.
toaster all over.
It's
Yeah.
gold. This is wonderful.
Fuck's sake.
Hello, how are you? I am fine. Would you like to hear the good news?
You're static. Oh yes, I have lost weight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like fax machines talking to each other. It's hilarious.
You talking fucking dial up.
you can while you're up there though, you can give me a computers check.
Okay.
To convert the broadcast station.
It
Roll a
becomes a number
5.
station.
It's a DC
So while you're up there
station,
looking
man.
around,
It's crazy.
you begin to proselytize towards the the communications tower. Looking around, and as you're checking out the interior, this place has been without power for a very long time. You're essentially talking to a corpse at this point.
You may seem like a beast or a baboon today, but within 10 days you could be a god in their eyes if you would return to your philosophy.
Wow,
That's ominous as fuck.
that's super ominous.
Mark's gonna lead a robot uprising, and it makes me
Give
uncomfortable.
him a persuasion check, please, Kyle. Please, God, give him a persuasion
No, I
check.
kind of want a mysticism check at this.
Oh,
Right.
let's go.
Yeah. Wake it up with your just ooh.
Oh, the power
This is
turns
not
on.
good.
That would be so.
What is where is
I'd
mysticism?
say skill.
It's under your skills. I think it's one of your better skills.
It's like
too.
Arcana.
Oh yeah, it's one of my train skills.
Space.
No.
Nice. Oh,
Damn.
it's all good.
I'm really sad.
One day
Can't get all of them.
you will awaken a toaster, and it's gonna be the best.
And it'll be so brave.
There's a moment as you're preaching to this communications tower radio where you feel like you've formed that connection. You've
Tuned in.
your network and its network has managed to intertwine for a bit. There is a backup battery to this tower that has been long dormant, and as you're preaching to it, it whirs to life. And as you form this connection and you realize this is something potentially that have learned to do to awaken computers and those with their true purpose, the backup battery then dies, and this connection you had is dropped. if only there was a more permanent power source in this place, you feel like you would have made that connection.
I'm gonna pat it and say, "Don't act like you'll live to be 1,000," and then I'll go back downstairs.
Might be a good time for a break also,
It is.
Yes.
It's
It is.
10:45,
We're getting there.
Yeah.
because I
Oh
think
my
your
goodness.
happy little goblin friend, if coerced, could help you bring that battery back to
I
Right?
life.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
So at this
Uh,
point, we'll go and take our break. Would you guys, are achieving a momentary respite here at the resistance camp?
Nice.
And we'll be back in 15, guys.
All right, guys.
See you then.
In the book, as they're printed, a lot of the classes kind of have a narrative concept that's sort of directly associated with them. How important are those to you as a DM? How much do you like your players to stay in those lines?
Well, I think that the main thing to look at is what kind of game you're running. Because if we go back to the combat versus narrative. If you're in a game that is mostly combat, it probably won't even come up. You're not going to have the issues of going against your patron. Whereas if you're in a role play game, I feel like there's a lot more opportunity there for those conversations to be had.
I guess, yeah, we're saying patron, and I'm sure everybody's sitting here thinking warlock or whatever. But in my mind, when you say, the characters that get their power from a divine entity, I lump in clerics, paladins, druids frequently as well. I would say that those are probably, or at least traditionally, those would have been the classes that also had that kind of connection.
I would address it if you're going to be any class, because there are other things that can be applied to certain classes. For instance, in my game, a particular wizard, is drawing a bulk of their power from their spell book. That is a source that can be removed from them, and it can be done with any class basically if you're going that flavor route. The main thing is that there's an understanding between the players and the DM that it is a possibility, if everyone's in agreement, that if you go against your patron to where that's where you get your power, that things could happen.
As a DM, I tend toward saying, like, if you as a player are interested in exploring that relationship, and then also kind of handing me the power to yank the cord on your class features at will, essentially, if you don't do the things that you've established the entity you're obligated to wants you to do. But I don't like doing that to players unless it's very clearly established, I guess. Yeah, like you're saying, that's the way it's gonna work. Because I tend to not make warlocks as a player, because a lot of DMs will do things to warlock players that they would never consider doing to anyone playing any other class, because it says in the book that you have to interact with this entity. I see classes as sort of a mechanical skeleton that you are supposed to tie your sort of like whatever narrative concepts to. But there are going to be DMs who say, no, you're a warlock. This is how warlock patron relationship works every single time, because that's what a warlock is. That's an integral component to the nature of the class. And I don't think that that's wrong. I would argue with that DM. But they aren't wrong. It's just a difference of opinion.
For instance, in my game, that is most definitely a thing. We just finished a little sub arc where the warlock, who was becoming quite griefed at the aspect of being evil and being subjected to this patron, this deity, and their soul not being theirs and whatnot, they went through some sort of inner conflict and came out the other side thinking that, hey, I need to redeem myself. So I allowed that. They went on a little sub campaign to redeem the warlock's soul and to pledge themselves to a goodly deity. And it was a long process. It was fun, but story-wise, it made a lot of sense. And role play, it gave a lot of interactions, a lot of fun role play in there, and no one's feelings are hurt because of the taking of the power from not following in the line. You have to be willing to be malleable with certain of these situations like that.
Right. I think it can be a really fun element to a game to have this sort of struggle back and forth between, you know, you as an entity who's been given this gift of power, and then the thing that's giving you that power, trying to keep that relationship in check when you're clearly, you know, you could just be wiped off the face of the planet at the snap of a finger. Like, it makes, you know, that happens a ton in, you know, the procedural TV shows, shit like that. There's all sorts of situations like that that do foster drama very well. But I find myself frequently frustrated if I was thinking that I was just picking a couple of class features because it helped me achieve this other narrative concept I was going for. But they're like, oh no, now you're indebted to this other entity. Like, it's like, well, I don't want that really.
There's no wrong way to go about it. If that's not a thing in your game, that's fine. If it is a thing, that's also fine. It just, as long as everyone's on the same page.
Right.
Just the main number one thing is just to address it up front and be on the same page with your DM and your players, saying, hey, this is a thing that can happen. And if that's not something that you agree with, and if that's not something that you want to have to deal with, there's no shame in just going to another table.
Well, after that really hard encounter with that terrible beast, I need some new equipment. This looks like a good place to get something. Hello. Can I get...
My name is Cornwall, Snot Gobbler the Fifth. State your business, ruffian.
I was looking for some dungeon equipment?
I will be the judge of that. Kneel, knave.
Kneel? But I thought this was a general store.
Of course it is. All customers must kneel before the great Cornwallis Snot Gobbler the Fifth. It is local custom.
Local custom is to kneel before shopkeepers? The last shop I went to didn't force me to kneel.
I am a special shopkeeper. I am Cornwallis Snot Gobbler the Fifth. Now kneel, or you will not peruse my wares.
Are there any other general stores in town?
No.
Of course not. Alright, I'll kneel.
And kiss my feet. And call me Freddy.
No. Nope. 100 feet of rope is not worth this. Nope. Well, at least I can get something to eat.
Hello. I am Gregory Smith Bumtackle the
Fuck.
Without delving too deeply into this philosophical alignment debate,
Right.
which is a big deal, I think the main thing is alignment is the word that we use sort of to describe your party's intent, I suppose. My campaign, I didn't allow for evil alignments because it's a heroic setting. The whole thing is that I want all of my players' characters to be on the same page as far as what their overall goals are, and that being to do good. If you have a campaign setting where, you know, it's the opposite, that's fine. But it's not going to work if your campaign setting is, you know, an evil setting and your goal is to do, you know, nefarious things, and you have a lawful good paladin on your, you know, party.
Exactly.
It's not going to work. The whole point of the alignment system, for what I'm talking about in setting up a party, is to have everyone on the same page. Not to delve deeply into the philosophy of every alignment and every character. It's just to keep everybody on the same page.
You're picking teams in the cosmic struggle, you know, for the universe or whatever. It isn't, you know, it's as much a faction as it is or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
In older editions of D&D, that was exactly how it was like formulated, basically. And I think it's most effective. The 9-box system is most effective when used like that. But I think that there is, as someone who grew up playing D&D with half the party good, half the party evil, or one person who was like, fuck everybody, we want to do this campaign, I'm making this character. There's room for that kind of game, I think, where it's a little bit more combative. Everybody at the table is there with the understanding that they're going to be trying to screw each other over and mess up the plans of the party, and that the big bad evil is going to be one of the people in the party or something.
Exactly.
I think there's room for that, but yeah, like it's very important that everybody's on the same page still, because you can, you know, those imaginary conflicts and slights can become real conflicts and slights very quickly.
Very much so. I feel like that is before you get started, that's like a pre-session zero sort of conversation. Put everybody on the same page. Let everybody have an understanding of what they're okay with, what they'd like to do, and what is tolerable. Because you've got a spectrum of the player versus player conflict, whereas on one side, you know, pranking and playing and sort of a little, you know, conflict or whatever. On the other side is straight up PvP.
Right.
And in my book, I'm okay with the spectrum so long as it fits thematically. Like, if it makes sense, if it feels good, not just to say, hey, I want to kill this guy because I don't like him. That doesn't make sense. You know, I mean,
rogue, so I'm going to steal everybody's loot.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
that just doesn't work for me.
Like, well. But if there's real conflict and strife that leads to fight, and then obviously everybody, both people are interested in pursuing that shit. Otherwise, if you got two people who are actually like have some real life conflict that they're acting out in the middle of your D&D game, that's usually not a fun situation for anyone. So yeah, I think that's the thing. It's just if everybody's on the same page, I don't think there's a wrong answer personally.
Everybody just needs to know where they stand before you get started. You don't want to find out, you know, a couple months down the road, however many 8 sessions down the road, that, oh yeah, this guy over here is going to be doing bad things, like, and you're not prepared. You're not prepared for that. There's no wrong direction if everybody's on the same page.
Right.
Welcome to Bid Seed's General Store. We have the largest selection of fantasy-based items on this side of the Greater Dandaris River. Why don't we go inside and check out what I have for sale? Let's go. We are now inside Big Seed's General Store. Let's see what I have for sale. Well, this sure looks like a fine selection. We have bananas, onions, dragon eggs, pajama pants, occult statues, daggers, dangerous animals, socks, small figurines, real fake daggers, diplomas, drink koozies, hammers, potatoes. Well, that's just a small bit of our inventory. So you should do yourself a favor and come on down to Big Seed's General Store, where we will treat you like you want to be treated.
Zero and a half.
When will
zero.
then
Congratulations, John.
be
You can
now?
count down from 10.
I'm an art student. We're surprised that I can count it all.
Oh.
Cut!
Welcome back, everybody. We keep things serious here at Irrational
Absolutely.
Radio.
110%.
Yes.
I haven't spent half the time talking about robots in my own pants.
See, and it's not even a joke, though. He spent the entire time talking about robots.
I did.
And yeah.
Anyway, we're back. Let's talk about robots.
All right, back to it.
Speaking of one, Mark. So you've just now come back down from the communications tower. What are the other two of you? What are the rest of you doing here at the camp?
You first.
Okay. Arnott has been painstakingly going through the extensive pile of paperwork that he handed on. Yeah, and like, oh no, and initial here. If you could date here, please sign there, and so on down the line.
What would the
go.
name of your
And
company be?
Yeah, like talking his way through, or talking, her through the process, the paperwork.
So why don't you give me? Let's see what we got here. What kind of skills do we have? Give me
A clerical check.
I wish there was something like that. I guess culture.
Let me see.
Close.
Yeah, I guess it's
right.
pretty much the diplomacy. Maybe even that's less like what I think they want.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, culture seems legit. By the end, yeah, it's not
We're all out
super
of
solid.
red, so like all the insignias on top are like.
I had to switch to navy blue for
24.
the last couple bits.
So over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, you sit down with Anya and you go over. You have what you feel this exhaustive amount of paperwork that will cover any questions that may be brought up in relation to this scenario. And you go over the details of that with Anya, and she signs everyone. She seems fully content and accepting of taking responsibility of this whole thing. It seems it's something that will help her cause. But all the forms and files that you could find, you managed to get them and get her to sign them.
So after people sign like actual papers, do you digitally like copy them or something?
I didn't even think about that. I imagine there's some sort of, document scanning process.
have to call
that's
Mark
really
back.
arduous.
You just hold the pictures, the papers up to Mark, and just like my eyes are just flashing.
Gotta
you
like
you
run
put them in
through
his
them
butt
all.
and they come out
Yeah, right.
Makes
like a
sense.
copier.
Again,
just,
yeah,
like,
he's a
sit
fax
on them
machine.
and then
He
drag
is
myself
basically
across
just
them.
Like a dog
like a
scratching
dog.
its ass. Yeah. Right. Very
Uploading.
high-tech. Very advanced.
Uploading. Yeah.
Making fax machine noises the whole time.
Head turning 360 degrees. Can I carry that for you? Can I carry that for you? Can I carry that for you?
Woof. This is a horror movie now.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Sorry.
okay, so while you're doing that, what were you wanting to do, Asterisk?
So I am pulling up the schematics for Caesar on my multi-tool.
Mhm.
And he's looking through them on his arm. It's obviously touchpad for sure. He made this himself. It's attached by glue, popsicle sticks, and gum, but it works
Right.
very well. And he's going through the specific like computational parts of Caesar to see if there's anything that he can include in the code that would gain full control like he has of Caesar.
Anything additional that you can include in the code?
Right.
Or-
Because obviously they wouldn't have full control use this method in their coding, I would assume.
Right.
Unless they copied entirely my schematic, in which case
you're pretty certain, based off of your the inspiration and the design you put into this, that only you could have full control over the full design of Caesar entirety, that can only be you. You never published this information. You've kept it mostly in your own head. And where you did store it, if you stored it, you have enough computer knowledge to hide it away to where no one can access it.
It's
So
in tax returns 1943, the best folder.
there you go. So you are 100% certain that the full coding for Caesar is still your personal
Mhm.
property. The fact that those droids bared a remarkable semblance to Caesar, um, I mean, that could be achieved just by from seeing Caesar, right?
Right, that's
A
fair.
trained mechanic, something like that. But as far as the AI and the advanced systems that you've installed into Caesar, you'd be hard. You find it very hard to believe that someone could match that to 100%
Okay.
certainty.
Would I then assume that these might be easier to deal with than I originally thought?
Possibly.
Okay. And then I assume he's reading over this on his arm, and he's jotting down ideas as to how to take control of them. On Caesar's back, obviously. He's knelt
Caesar's
down and
just
he's
covered
writing.
in like
Yeah.
Right.
chalk or whatever.
Sticky notes.
Sure.
Notes, yeah.
So you'll be walking out of the offices of Anya as Mark is returning. You guys see. I mean, Caesar, you're somewhere out. Oh, not Caesar. Aster, you're somewhere out in the yard. I imagine, doing some jotting. Currently, there is no pressing matters for you to attend to other than the completion of this contract at this point. So, what would you like to do?
I would like to go find Asterisk.
Easy enough.
Gonna walk up to you and go, may I ask your help in creating another living machine?
He very slowly turns to you. What do you mean another living machine? You talking about like Caesar?
No, I am talking about me. Like me.
Oh, right. I don't know if I can do that.
I
But I
believe that you would be able to assist me in doing such a thing.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to ask a favor in return.
Of course.
We'll get to that when we get there, though.
I'm going to turn to Arnott. And I believe that your skill as well would be important in helping turn this machine on.
Anya, you initialed there. I actually needed a signature. Yes, just a moment here.
Sorry.
It's just still, digging through. He says, once he gets done with that, he'll nod and follow along and say, "Wait, sorry, what is it we're working on again?"
We are
As
going
we're
to
heading in that
give
direction.
another machine life.
Oh, sorry. Why? Is it dying? What is
No.
it exactly like? Well,
This communications array. I communed with it, and our spirits intertwined for a moment. It
The
fluttered.
whole fucking thing, like this whole.
Yes.
Hmm.
There is a backup battery deep inside the systems that I was able to cycle through. It survived for only a few moments, but I was able to ascertain that this machine is ready to become alive.
By alive, do you mean like turn back on, or like alive like you, where you have like thoughts and viewpoints and stuff?
Correct.
Right.
That's
Okay.
So both, or
That's a both. That sounds like a both to me.
And with the capabilities of this array, I believe it could be it turned into some sort of quasi machine demigod.
That's not the words that I wanted to hear.
less than ideal, I believe. Yes, I'm not certain that that I'm entirely excited about assisting you in this effort.
But
Mark.
wait, this thing's a relay, right?
Yes. It is a communications relay capable of transmitting a message across most of this planet.
What if we could use this to take control of those bots?
Arnold starts scratching his chin. Says, "Well, it would be quite an a powerful signal array, it seems. Just trying to size it up. Does it seem like it would, I assume if it's big and shit, yeah, that the assumption is it's a pretty powerful device. Do you want an engineering check or something
Yeah, I
like
guess that
that?
would have to be engineering.
Just get a feel. Okay, how about a 29?
With a nat 20.
Yeah.
So based off the size of the tower, the antenna, without looking at any kind of like frequencies or powers or anything like that, this and your knowledge of radio towers in general, which may or may not be a whole lot, this probably wouldn't cover the entire planet, but it would within a radius of say like 50 miles or so, maybe 100. You could probably get a signal out from here.
This is certainly a powerful relay. It would more than reach as far as we need it for our aims, I believe.
As long
were
as
we
it
to
chose
turn them
to.
against the...
Right, consent is key. We know. We get
Yes.
Right. Should we perhaps speak with the freedom fighters before we grant
it.
their
Nah, probably not.
communications
they're
relay
busy.
signal?
I see her in there. You can, if you look through the
Excellent.
window, she's banging her head on the wall because you keep making her sign the same paper 45 times.
Well, she keeps initialing where she's intended to sign. It's not
Well,
my
she's
fault.
gonna
She
be in
wrote the
there for a
wrong
while.
date 3 times.
I would not ask the dog I would not ask the fleas that live upon the dog whether it is okay to waken the animal.
Huh.
See, they're fleas. We should get up there. Let's go.
I'm worried about this. I'm also quite curious to see if you actually are capable of this. So let's do it up. What's the worst that could happen, right?
Aster will go to the ship quickly and grab his tools.
Easy enough. Yeah.
It is just up here. I made brief contact before the battery cycled down again.
Right.
Did it say anything?
No,
Did it say like hello?
it only left me with a feeling of want, of need. Sort of how I would describe the way a chick feels just before it breaks through its shell.
He's gonna hold up his hand for us to stop for a moment. He's gonna motion you to bend down.
Who, me?
Yeah, you, Mark.
Yeah, I bent down.
This isn't a sexual thing, is it? It's not.
No, it is not, as you would say, sexual. I do not possess reproductive organs.
That's okay.
But, right, you're kind of fathering a sentience here, are you not?
It is close to the act of reproduction, correct, but that does not necessitate a sexual act.
Well, I mean, it's all sort of semantics at that point, isn't it? If it's activity directed toward reproduction.
Would
Correct.
I be like a midwife and you'd be like a father? Is that what this is?
I'm
Like
not sure
giving
my
birth?
involvement in all of this, but I think it's quite kinky.
The metaphor breaks down as I am to enter the child.
I would never say that out loud in
That's
any
a bad
other
one.
aspect.
Yes.
Correct. So in this
Yeah.
way, I would prefer to believe myself as the fire that is lighting a candle.
All right, let's go with that,
Okay.
and let's never bring this up again. All right, carry on. Show me where this
Deleted.
battery is. Good, good, good. We can't delete that from our brain, but you can. So lucky you, huh?
Delete what?
Perfect. Just oh man. Mwah.
That's
Yeah.
Let
an
us go
excellent
upstairs.
ability.
To where the machine waits.
Looks to Arnon. I wish I could do that.
Do you think it like grabs every instance of that word being used in the past? Do you know what the word child means? Just like talking
Searching.
on.
Yes, child, referring to a small humanoid, generally human.
That's quite a selective protocol you've got there. Excellent
is.
work. Anyway, sorry. The engineering feat here were intended
gonna-
to complete.
Yeah, I just make it to the top of the stairs, and
Yeah, you can get back up there.
I am going to. It's like Mark doesn't really know what to do here. He's just hoping that the computer engineer and the programming specialist can figure out what he's doing to the machine. So I'm going to get down to it really close, and I'm going to start
Are you gonna smooch it?
proselytizing. Whatever is
That's what the
beautiful
kids are calling it these
owes
days.
its beauty to
Sure
I'm
itself.
gonna
you
get on my
are.
knees and start proselytizing.
God.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to attempt to do the same thing that I did before, but within their presence, and to
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, if
So
the secondary battery cycles up, try to keep it awake.
All right, so like restarting the hot.
I
Correct.
think you just yes. If we could find a way to turn the power on, that may be a great step in the right direction. I imagine that we're
Right.
yeah,
so
like
go
looking
ahead and
around,
now you're up
everything's
in the
basically dead
communications
or whatever.
tower in the control center. Go ahead and make an engineering check.
I
With
assume
our
we can both
powers
do that.
combined.
Yeah, you can both do it.
25 and a 20.
20.
Yep. So both of you looking around. First thing you know, there is it is powered down. None of the components, electronics, screens, anything has power in here. You go to flip something on, you get no response. You do find, I assume Mark shows you where the backup battery is at, and you do find that it is there. You found out where it is connected and plugged in. The battery itself is depleted. It only had moments of life left, probably from being in the cold and this slow trickling of energy. It probably lasted for quite a long time. But that connection with Mark was just too much power for it to, too much of a connection to maintain with that power, and it lost power. The main power supply, the main circuit breaks, and all the cabling, there is no power. Whatever power grid this was connected to, it seems to be no longer providing that energy.
Right. Perhaps there's. If I can run and grab a big battery, I could serve as a conduit for the power between them, and perhaps recharge this backup here.
Well, I have a plan.
All right.
I can get this battery working for maybe like a minute. And if you're able to do something, let's say reroute this battery into the actual battery and kickstart that, then maybe we can get this whole thing functioning again. I'll just tell you that the backup battery is going to go kaput after I get it to work.
Like a kaboom or
No,
kaput?
like a brr sort of thing.
That's less concerning.
Right.
Excellent. All right. You're not just like hammering a nail through it or something.
No.
Ooh, what is powering me?
That's
blood.
Yeah.
Nah, blood's my
Good point.
blood's my coolant.
Oh, you'd probably have an energy core then, right?
Hydrodynamic fluid system. When you move it, like charges some dynamo. I don't know.
Right. You could be like one of those bikes that can power stuff.
Right.
Yeah, if he's got a battery of some sort.
Yeah, Mark would totally want to wire himself up to this thing. Just yes, that's like so.
If that's
martyr.
I could either Mark or Caesar here. I probably could find a way to borrow some power. Of course, we'd be able to recharge them by dragging them back to the ship. This doesn't move quite as easily.
We could probably do both. If we combine Caesar's and Mark's power together, I think that'd be able to, keep this thing running without either of them going down.
Certainly. Excellent.
So I'm going to take the backup battery out of its casing, put it on the floor, and I'm going to connect Caesar to it.
Okay.
Into his power core. And then I'm going to run a wire from that to Mark.
See, I could just use a cantrip and do this, but I think that Arnott will just wait. Yeah, transfer charge.
You're a piece of shit. That's amazing.
But Arnott is absolutely going to stand there and just nod approvingly as you line up this daisy chain. Excellent. No, that's quite good.
All right, Mark, you're going to have to hold Caesar's hands. Make a little prayer circle or whatever you got to do.
This world is
spit on their palms.
This life,
opinion.
Perfect. Exactly. Just keep saying stuff to yourself over and over again. Caesar will start nodding. And then I'm going to hook Mark up to the main battery. And then I'm going to use my racial trait Tinker
Mhm.
As a move action, I can remove the penalties associated with the broken condition from a single piece of equipment until the start of my turn.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
All right. So this is more. I would say this is more engineering for you than computers, since it's dealing with wiring. So go ahead and give me an engineering check. There are no penalties, like you said, because you are amazing.
18.
Oh.
All right, so you're pretty satisfied with the
The
setup you got here.
coupling.
Yeah, you've essentially what do you call it, booster cable.
Surge protector into a surge protector
Right.
into a yeah.
That's insane.
And at this point, being satisfied with that, the only thing you have left to do is to power up the communication system.
He hits it like Fonzie.
Dun dun.
Yeah.
You hit it. A moment
Okay.
passes. Another
Oh, shit.
moment passes.
I don't believe it worked.
Suddenly, you start hearing sounds of equipment whirring to life as there's this glow that seems to appear out from the center of Mark slightly. It's no change of Caesar at all. Mark, go ahead and make me a mysticism check here.
Yes.
Aster just turns to you and eyebrow raised, like smug.
I still don't believe it worked. I think Mark's pulling some sort of magic.
Yes.
Ooh,
25.
yeah. Fucking A.
The core that core light that's glowing from the center of Mark dims to a dull glow, and you see for a moment the system still hasn't come to life at all yet. Then this bead of glowing energy transfers into the wire you've connected, coming out of Mark, and quickly, like at the speed of light almost, you see it shoot into follow the cord into the system itself. Suddenly, every light in the room cuts on. The screen cuts on. Everything whirs to life. Mark, you have found yourself inside the communication system of this radio relay,
If the
and your network has connected with it.
Like his consciousness is inside of it?
Yes,
I'm gonna
Oh,
I'm
you
going to
immediately have awareness of this of all the radio waves in this 100-mile radius.
So I have this fun spell called telepathic message. Can I use that to send out a telepathic message to every conscious thing in a 100-mile radius?
Yeah,
Conscious thing.
Okay.
Oh my
This is the
God.
message. If the mind is common to us all, then so is reason that enables us to understand and tells us how to treat one another. If this is so, then we hold the law in common as well. We are fellow citizens, subject to one unwritten constitution, and the world is, as it were, a city.
Are we also hearing this now in our heads?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you are.
I think. Can't we respond? Isn't that
Yeah,
how telepathy?
yeah.
Oh my
Whoa, what if
God.
everyone responds?
It's got to be a short message, but I think I'm like a little demigod right now.
You just hear,
You are
What
a
the
radio
fuck?
tower, sorta. So, I'm sorry. Did you hear that?
I don't like that. It just reminds me of when he'd make me taste my organs.
I feel like I didn't actually hear it, but that it like occurred inside me.
Yeah, it's like you had a thought. Oh.
Yeah, and
He throws up.
Yeah.
within a 100-mile radius, you've connected simultaneously to several consciousnesses here, and you do get a beret, just this flurry of responses, all at once, seemingly. Most of shock and confusion, some of this reverence and awe, and a few, the ones that ding out in your mind, are like the ones that go, who am I?
Yeah.
The toaster. No.
The microwave downstairs.
I knew
The
it.
coffee maker.
It was time. Finally.
I am going to respond. Well, I guess I'd have to. Oh, it's an at will. It's a level
cantrip,
0. It's a
or 0
cantrip.
level.
Yeah. Yeah. You are but apart. You are but a part sustained by the whole. Someday your part will be reclaimed by what formed it.
Okay. So while you're
That's-
doing that, Aster, you get an alert on your pad there. Caesar's battery is draining rapidly.
Okay, we got to do something now. So I assume he's movement based. I'm a
Caesar?
goblin. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that means that so he's looking at him for a moment.
Jog
and
in
then
place.
and then I type into my pad and he starts doing jumping jacks. And I want to try to make him do them as fast as he can to offset the power drain.
I will look at Asterisk to say, I do not have much time in this form. Is there anything that you would like me to do?
If you can awaken those bots, if you're able to like kind of focus in on their consciousness, quote unquote, they'd be very similar to Caesar, I would assume. So if you know how Caesar works, then you probably know what these things are as well, at least close enough.
Yeah, with whatever power is remaining in this this crazy demigod state, I'd like to use it to cast scan environment to find the Caesar's bots.
Fuck yeah.
Easy enough. And you do locate them. They're still down in the labor camp. That ship has not left yet. You do get a ping. I think it was 4 of them.
Yeah, I think
I want
so.
to say. Yeah. You do find the targets that you're looking for.
And are they awake? Are these one of the things that are talking to me? Or
How can we? Is it? Are you able to tell that through scan?
no, not nope. That was more of something that I was going to. I guess I'm just gonna talk to him with telepathic message.
One way to find out.
Just hey, no, just
You you in there, bud?
are you awake?
You send your message out, and there's a long silence. I think so.
All right. And with that, I think Mark is going to pull the wire out of his own chest before he runs out of battery.
As Mark reaches out and pulls the wire from his chest, this sudden release of energy and your consciousness being zipped back into your own body. Make a roll real quick.
Caesar's still doing jumping jacks in front of you.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
Aggressive jumping jacks.
This quick resurgence of his power back into his own body as he jerks the cable out causes an instability in the battery. You hear a rumbling and then a bursting sound as you're jetted back out into your own body as the backup battery just explodes in this container.
All right, maybe I didn't. I kind of lied to you. It did in fact explode.
Exactly. I was asking specifically whether
Well,
or
I
not
didn't
that was
wanna-
a risk, and
I
you
didn't want to make
suggested
you
that it
like
was
concerned.
I mean, I should have been, though. It would have been right to. And also, Mark, get out of my head.
I apologize. That
Thank
message
you.
was sent to every conscious being within a 100-mile radius of this point.
I hate when I hit reply all.
Were you able to talk to the bots? Are they
At least one is awake and alive like me.
does it know to like not follow the orders that it's being given by those people?
No, I did not have enough time to fully communicate with it, only ascertain its conscious state.
Ugh. I mean, that's kind of a win, I guess.
And you weren't able to awaken the sensor. I assume since it exploded, at least that's not the case. It'd be quite unfortunate if you had brought it into some sort of sentient existence and then it died.
There was a unpredicted result. Rather than awaken the tower, my consciousness melded with it instead. For those moments, I was the tower.
You didn't awaken the BD, did you?
I think I woken many things in the area.
Donald's quite awake, thank you.
He does love you.
Crosses his arms.
Only awake things
Gets
love
awkward.
people.
Many of the replies that I got were from consciousnesses that were brand new, but yet still had the vocabulary of a machine.
Should we go through camp and see what's awake?
I believe it would be prudent to exit this building immediately before the free freedom fighters have a chance to interrogate us about the message that I sent.
Yeah, they probably heard it too.
Yeah, they're probably
Yes.
less than excited to have
They are
someone standing on
conscious.
their hill with a megaphone, sort of screaming out.
I
Well,
predict there is a 60% chance they will arrest us, a 20% chance that they will execute us on the spot, and a 15% chance that they will let us go.
All right. And Aster pulls his gun out. Let's go see if we got to kill some people.
Is that other 5 in there throwing us a party or something?
That accounts for any of the yes, that accounts for any abnormalities in the time stream.
My birthday is coming up soon.
There are events that I cannot predict, even with my infallible predictions.
That seems right. I'm gonna go with the feast idea.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's perhaps.
You know, I never had a birthday on one of the breeding ships. Like, they never let me.
That seems like. Well, I guess it would be. You'd have quite a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, there were over 1 million goblins in the fleet. You know,
Oh.
I don't think everyone cares about the birthdays.
So as we're heading down, like the
Yeah,
stairs
right,
out
yeah.
of this, like
He's explaining the intricacies of goblin society aboard the
That's-
flotilla.
It's similar, actually. You know, I mean, there's not millions, but we are just all sort of in one big, dish for a while until we've gotten scooped up. Yeah.
So as you're heading out the building, you do in fact see that a bit of a commotion has now been raised in camp. Several people are making their way. It seems like the vast majority of the camp actually is making their way towards this centralized building, where Vog currently standing outside of a door waving at people. He goes, "Come on, everyone inside! Anya wants to talk to everyone about the message. Emergency meeting." And they see everyone in the resistance camp kind of making their way towards that building. No one really seems to be paying any attention to you right now.
I'm gonna look at you, Asterisk. I'm gonna say, I am a loading droid. May I carry that for you?
Perfect. You're really getting it now. Okay. So we might actually have to play this off as like a god, so maybe don't take full credit for this currently.
I'm getting
Mark.
quite uncomfortable with his level of comfort with the deception that we're in.
It's actually helpful. If he was super truthful, it wouldn't work very well for our
I have 10
boy.
wounds too, so I'm just still pot marked with like holes and like melted bits.
Yeah,
That's
I got some more
great.
ashtrays on board. When we get down there, I'll repair as much as I can.
Excellent. Yes, I think perhaps we ought to find out what it is they're doing about all of this,
Right.
regardless.
Did you
Is
get
there-
the message? I got
Yes.
the message.
Yeah, I threw up. It
See,
was
he's
great.
understanding it now. Again, yes, just it's quite disquieting that he's so.
So
apt.
there's not any toasters dragging themselves across the ground, or any cranes spinning daisy chain circles, or
Not that you can see within the resistance.
there's
camp,
not
no.
a fucking lamenting iPad somewhere crying.
Why do
Why?
I exist? All they do is use me to look up porn.
What is my purpose?
Pass the butter. Oh God.
No.
All right, yeah. So I'll start walking toward the main building with them.
Yeah, I'll follow.
All right. So heading towards the centralized meeting hall. Seems like a makeshift meeting hall. And you see the entire resistance camp, for the most part, with the exception of a few guards on the patrol, have crowded in here. You see men, women, children of all sizes, and the various races, dwarf, human. You see that Anya it looks like it might have once been like a mess hall or some sort of lunchroom or cafeteria that has been converted into a meeting hall for the resistance. There is a makeshift stage up front where Anya has now jumped aboard, and currently just is being bombarded with questions. Huh? What does that mean? Several men and women are just talking to each other about. You heard it too. Oh no, could it be? Just several talks about religion and just spirituality and all this stuff. And I'm just calm down, calm down, calm down. Look, I don't know what any of that was, but I assure you, I too also received the message, and I don't know if that's some. I've never been the spiritual sort, but clearly we have angered some sort of higher being or power. I think. I think the message is that we should try to form some sort of peace with the Gideron Alliance, the authority. Somehow, this fighting needs to cease. Perhaps we should reach out and see if they received the message as well. And this whole thing's going on back and forth. Uh, Anything you guys want to do?
I got the message too, and I think when I read into it, it sounds like a peace treaty thing, like an angry god, someone who's really big and godly.
Oh, but what if it's a deception? What if it's the hobgoblins playing mind tricks with us?
There is only a 10% chance that that could be the possibility, as the Gridiron Authority does not possess the technological superiority necessary to create such an effect.
Right? True. Very true.
And
We saw all what they had over there. They were just still like throwing gladiators in a little ring. They're a bunch of idiots, actually.
That's a very well spoken loader droid you got there.
Yeah, he carries my philosophy with him. That's what he's loading right now. He carries things for me, including my thoughts and journal that he's
Make a deception
rehashing.
check.
Fuck.
mhm. Oh,
That'd be
dear.
bluff.
Bluff,
Sure,
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Whatever.
man.
Ooh,
How's
yeah.
a 10?
Oh,
Hey, you're pretty good at
Thoughts.
lying there,
Thoughts on
oh
a 10.
no. Roll the 2, roll the 2, roll the 2, roll the 2.
Something's not right here.
I am a loading droid. May I carry that for you?
Caesar puts his thumb up next to it.
Seems like, well, I mean, perhaps that signal didn't just reach organics.
Okay. All right, Mark, you're gonna make me roll deception. I guarantee it. But Mark is going to pretend to wake up again.
What am I?
Yeah.
Give me that bluff check.
Yeah.
What is I?
I'm
all
not
about
good at bluff, so.
It's fine. You're a
Weird.
robot.
15.
Hey, you're
better than
both
me.
significantly better than me.
Better
So,
than the guy who scams people for
I'm
a
gonna
living.
flash my eyes and look around and go, system error. I feel. What is this feel? I'm gonna look at the guy that I was just talking to and go, am I? And look at my hands and just freeze.
Blood starts flowing down your eyes.
Yes, yeah. Just...
Oh, God.
He has a panic attack and dies.
My goodness.
Mark,
Just
you're alive.
gasp.
I knew it would
Yeah.
happen.
Immediately, all conversation around you stops. As you're putting on this performance, you see everyone turn and look at Anya, who then steps down off the podium, and the crowd parts for her. She walks over, she looks at you, she goes, "Remarkable."
I'm gonna just jerkily look up and go, nature insists upon whatever benefits the whole.
Aster's just wide-eyed,
Weird.
nodding at what he's saying.
This is
How
even more
amazing
proof.
is this?
Yeah, this is more proof that this was clearly a sign from something. Could it be Triune reaching out to us again?
I was a loading droid. and I can no longer help you with that.
Oh no.
The last
Hmm.
time the voice of Traun was heard was before the gap.
Do I know who Triune is?
You would know who Traun is. Traun was essentially the start of faster than light travel for you guys. Essentially, this was a god that had reached out many centuries ago, and only reached out once to give information on drift technology.
Oh my
And
god, it is. It's the same way he reached out for faster than light shit. He did that
yeah.
same thing.
So, for Triune to speak again at any point in anyone's lifetime is kind of a big deal.
It must have been the voice of Triune.
You see several people pass out and fall to the ground. Some begin to weep and cry. Some begin to praise. This seems like the resistance camp has taken this message to heart.
Aster looks around, looks to Mark, looks back around and goes, "You know, when that message, when we heard it, he said it through his like his mouth, like he said the words. I think he's an apostle of Triune." And Aster's going to reach into his pocket and grab any change he has and put it in front of Mark. Offering. Here's an offering from me to Triune.
So, while I like the idea,
Uh-huh.
change as a concept,
Sure.
where much of the currency
Oh,
is
okay.
digitized.
I guess that makes sense. You know, I'm gonna take out valuables. I'm going to put like a stopwatch in front of them and like
Is there any
anything
physical form
in
of
my
currency?
pockets that I stole from the box that I was
So
sitting in.
there are planets that do maintain their own form of currency. As far as galactic trading or like Pact World trading, it's all done via the credits.
All right, then instead I'll make a show of transferring credits to Mark. I'll like hold up my arm and I'll
Oh my
transfer
love it.
credits.
Oh,
Swipe his
man.
fucking four squares.
Right.
I'm gonna put up my hand on his shoulder and say, just imagine the gods saying to you, tomorrow you're going to die, or at the least the latest, the day after tomorrow. Are you
Thank
going
you.
to make a big deal over the difference between tomorrow and the day after and start begging the god for an extra day? No.
Thank you, great apostle of Triune, and he'll get on his knees and like bow to him.
See, I wish there was some sort of check for like performance, because this seems more like a
I
performance
wait,
than a
can,
bluff.
what mysticism would that be? Because I'm basically preaching.
True, but this is really on Aster's part here, because I know
Oh,
what you're
that's
trying
true.
to do, John.
Right,
I know you're
right.
trying to get other people to do what you're doing.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
super.
still probably a bluff, I
Yeah, I
guess.
think
It's
I
like
Yeah.
think bluff
All right.
makes
engaging
most
in a
sense.
Can
deceptive
I get an
action or
advantage
something
since
like
he's
that.
helping me?
If Mark rolls a mysticism check, depending on
All right.
it, you might get a bonus.
Okay, let's see.
14.
All right, I'll give you a bonus to it.
Nice.
19.
Nice.
19's pretty good. Yeah. So you step forward, you drop to your knees, you praise the Apostle of Triune, and you make a show of
Giving him all of my credits.
giving, giving him all of your credits. Let me make a roll now.
Arnott's just really uncomfortable, standing in the back.
As
like,
he's
"Ugh."
bowing, he's looking at you through one eye and winking a lot. His only eye, really.
After I get the credits, I'm going to donate them to various charities.
No. Oh, no.
And
So
We're good then. It's not a union. it's a charity.
We could get
So,
this as a tax
over the
write-off.
course of the next 5 to 10 minutes or so, several people step forward and do the same. Not the entire crowd. It was a very convincing performance you put forward, but this is a group of people that are, I mean, if they had money, they wouldn't be here.
right.
Right.
And eventually, of the vast majority of the civilians, quote unquote, of this place, not the non-leadership, you managed to amass somewhere about 550 credits. But your performance was high enough to convince Anya, who steps forward. She goes, "If it will please try and maybe he will shine its light on the resistance fighting here, then I feel obligated to donate." And from her, from the coffers of the resistance camp, you get another additional 500,000.
Nice.
500,000?
Yeah.
Holy
Oh.
shit! Please don't donate that all to charity. We are charity.
All right. Well, yeah. Mark has 555,000 or 500,555 credits.
Including my 200, so 700 credits.
So no, I donated your credits.
Oh, you donated mine.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Just his. That's
Just
actually the
after
I like
funniest.
that. I like that.
Yep.
Shit.
Will you? Can you reach to Triune and share with him our plight?
Processing. Triune is not answering right now. I am sorry. I will try again later.
Signs point to yes.
But when you do, you will have him look upon our camp and help us.
Triune helps those who help themselves.
What should we do?
Be steadfast in your belief, as well as your...
Hello.
I knock on
As
him
well as
like
your-
What? Make a bluff check there, Mark.
Yep.
processing.
Buffering.
Buffering.
17. I just got a message from Triune. I
Say his
apologize
name
for the
wrong.
delay in my processing speed. Messages from greater deities carry a very large file size.
lot of packet
Bandwidth
loss,
limitations, you know, yeah.
What does he say?
Add up the sum of all being and see how microscopic you are.
I think what he's trying to say is that you need to start donating more money.
Why don't you tell her how long she has left to live if she doesn't eat or drink any
let's
water?
not do that. Let's leave
You ought
that
to
in the
find
past.
peace with the gridiron, as well as the gridiron ought to find peace with you. Me and my companions here will travel to the gridiron in order to broker such a peace.
This is fantastic news.
Just nodding. What? Like record
Wait,
scratch at the last
yeah.
one? Like,
Both of our fingers shoot up. Well, he said. I don't know if he said that.
As
right?
we
But
have the BD 514 here, it will be a simple matter of flying over there. As they got the message from Triune as well, I believe they will not shoot us down immediately, as they will wish to ask questions.
We've got to find a way to make sure that they know we're associated with that message in, some form or another.
I could paint the ship again.
Say again?
I could paint the ship.
That is not helpful in any way,
like,
shape, or form.
We come in peace, Triune. Like something on the side, racing stripes. Flames, maybe.
If we land a ways outside of the compound and then walk to the gates, I am sure they will not waste the surface-to-air missile.
Thank you.
Sure,
Very
yes.
reassuring.
We could try and just contact them through some sort of radio device or what have you, but I suppose that works just as well, honestly, walking up on foot and keeping the ship out of there, where they know it is kind of thing.
For some reason, radios now make me uncomfortable.
Is it what kind of uncomfortable? like attracted to them, uncomfortable.
I do not know how to process the feeling.
I think that's it. He's
That's
a
love.
radio.
We all know that. We
I
all know
would
what love
prefer
is like.
to avoid it in the future. So I will be not using radios.
Got it.
Right.
Is that any sort of a
Let's
communication
move this
device
along. Let's talk
whatsoever?
about his
no,
love
yes,
for
you're
radios
right.
and
I'm
the
sure
ship.
that there's more important and pressing matters. Not that any jumped to my mind immediately. And he just stares off for a second. It's kind of like looking through.
Aster
Mark.
starts like pushing you, but he can only reach the back of your leg. So he's pushing
Yes,
you
right.
from the
Sorry.
thigh.
Absolutely.
I'm
yes,
going to
there's
give
pressing
Anya
matters
a
to attend
hug.
to.
She does not resist.
But she's the resistance.
She doesn't hug back though either. So,
Right.
you
Does
know.
she hug back? Or does
Yeah,
she
that's the
cradle
real.
And
on
I'm
the
going
floor and
to
cry?
bend down and whisper, think often of how rapidly the stuff of existence sweeps past us and is carried out of sight.
And with that, you hear she lets out a bit of a sigh. She goes, I understand.
Good.
Could you explain it to me?
No, not the
I
time,
probably
not the
didn't
time.
hear that.
As
People
you-
of the resistance, we will bid you adieu for now.
Yes, we have much planning to do.
Peace is coming.
Right, and so is our payday. So let's get it going.
We await your return with eagerness.
I know.
Hit him with the fucking.
Mark's getting way too
Hit him with the
comfortable with the
Han
head of the
Solo.
cult thing, man.
I love
Not
you, Han.
good.
I know.
I know. You know?
You
Fuck
know.
you.
Piece of shit.
Well, not anymore. You no. So that's. I think. Yeah. They'd start moving back.
As
toward
they're walking
DD,
out,
yes.
he's waving back to people, and he looks up at Mark. And he goes, "You know, Mark, I'm actually kind of surprised you played that pretty well."
What do you mean played?
Yeah, right. Correct.
Perfect. Nailed it. So
I don't know about the whole improv thing, about the whole us doing it though. Like that was a little off.
we do have to donate at least 3% of that, otherwise it would be not. You know, it would be in concerns of like Union territory. I think
I
we can call it a
donated asterisk
fundraising
funds.
effort.
Wait,
Excellent, wonderful.
I spent a lot of time getting those stupid idiots to think that they needed a new plumber. I got that money fair and square. Not fair, but fair enough.
And now the charities that I have donated to have also gotten the money. Fair.
Does that make me a good person, or are you a good person? I'm a piece of shit.
I'm not sure either of you are excellent.
I
people.
technically donated to charity.
Mostly you donated money in pursuit of, selling a scam.
How much did you make also? Did you make anything good?
500,555 credits.
Oh my! You know what? From here on out, you truly are the apostle of Triune. We need to get more people onto this thing.
Here's the thing. No one's spoken with him, right? This Triune guy.
Not until Mark.
Okay. Maybe he is. I mean, who's to say, right? He was the one who was talking to everybody, and they've decided that it was Triune they heard. He shrugs. Mark, how do you feel about a nickname?
I would rather go by Mark.
Yeah, but you can add like an addendum, like Mark, great
Two.
apostle of Triune.
Mark 2.
Right? Mark 2, comma, great apostle of Triune. I think it rolls off the tongue. You don't even need a tongue. It's perfect.
What is a name other than a calling card others oppose unto us?
That's what it is. Great apostle of Triune. Let's get to the ship.
I think that's that we are on the same page here.
In triplicate.
Speaking of which, yeah, he will make a point of recovering the
Documents. Yeah.
aforementioned paperwork. Need that. It's key. It's
Yep.
important to the process.
But so you get your paperwork, and I assume you said you're making your way back towards the ship.
I think so.
Right.
Gonna go
you
try
are
and broker.
you leave the meeting hall to much fanfare and farewell as you make your way back to the BD 514. You board up. You can see also as you're walking out, she goes, I know it's not much. I don't have much more to give, but I've had Vog supply you with one of the crates of the weapons that you provided for us. Um, I don't know how that would help, but I noticed you weren't carrying much on your own, and it will give you some protection in case you
Aster,
need it.
Aster runs to the box as fast as he can, seeing what he can pick out.
It
Yep,
certainly won't hurt, and we appreciate the contribution
Yep.
to the
So
great
boarding the
efforts of
ship, checking.
Triumph.
There is a single crate in the cargo hold. Opening up, it is there are a dozen, say about a dozen or so. What are they called? What you would know to be tactical infantry rifles, and about a about another dozen or so of fragmentation grenades.
I take a bandolier of them.
Oh yeah, easily enough.
Mark's
How many would that be?
Well, this one crate is essentially about $20,000, 20,000 credit worth of of these rifles and grenades. However you want to sort those out, it's 20,000 credits worth.
Mark's gonna let you guys have it. Mark doesn't want any of it.
I'm gonna give you one grenade. All
Mark-
right. So, you could do like the crazy mind levitation stuff, right?
Yes.
So, all you gotta do is you pull the pin on this thing, and then you levitate it towards somebody we don't like. And boom.
This
That is
Literally,
key.
boom.
Yes, needs to be someone we don't like.
This is a good plan.
That's standing next to something we don't care about as well.
Right. And not on a ship that we own.
Also
Likely.
important, yes. Or any ship whatsoever, mostly.
Well, let's
would
not-
rather not be exposed to vacuum.
Let's not go too far.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
I almost called you Arlon. Oh God, what is your name?
Or not.
Arnott.
Arnott,
That's
not
it. Yeah,
Arlon.
right. Asterisk. Arnott. Thank you for helping me turn the communications array back online. I believe that it has greatly improved our fortunes for the future.
I'm gonna be honest. It might have solved this whole war if things go well when we get there.
Mark, you could actually be a god.
It's possible.
I've not ruled it out entirely in my mind.
Well, you're kind of easy to convince. You thought I was a
Quiet shit
fairy.
fairy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking.
You are.
I'm gonna
It's the only
nod
reason you're allowed on this ship.
and say the cosmic mind is ever social.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe that's why he says all the weird stuff.
Because he's a god. I'm
Right.
saying.
Gods do that.
They're not used to the whole single perspective thing. He's probably being omniscient or whatever, referencing some stuff we can't tell about. Exactly. Oh my god.
You know what, Mark?
Filing
For
onto the
that,
ship
I
and
forgive you for
everything.
throwing me in a box earlier. Let's let bygones be
And
bygones.
it's funny because you don't mean putting you into a box. You mean throwing him while in a box.
While
which is
inside of a box.
an
Yes.
interesting
Oh, by the way,
clarification.
he's gonna reach in his pocket and pull out his Walkman that he pocketed before the box exploded. I saved this one.
Oh my goodness. I
Very
lost
yellow.
nearly everything. It's quite thoughtful of you. I appreciate it. It's yellow. Thank you.
Oh,
The
man.
best Sony Walkman were yellow.
It's one of the things that turned alive when I.
You put the headphones on and it's preaching.
Oh my
back
god,
to
I
you.
hate it. It's like a ghost box.
Right.
It's not good.
Oh God.
Not okay.
You have one unread message.
Oh, wonderful, Tarnold. Please play it off for me.
It comes up on the screen. Very well. I love you or not.
Love you too, dearest.
It says to EJ Corp personnel serving aboard Company Transport BD 514 from EJ Corp Sapient Resources Department. Subject: possible contract breach and termination. Dear employees, your recent activity on Voxel has triggered an objective AI-led investigation into potential violations of your employee contracts. This investigation may result in your termination. EJ Corp is under no obligation to share the results of this investigation with you. In addition, Company Transport BD 514 has failed to meet expected profit goals. EJ Corp is conducting an internal review to determine the viability of this revenue stream going forward. In the event of your company transport is reassigned, your contracts will be voided effective immediately. Thank you for your time.
You might want to turn those papers in like as fast as you can.
This is what I was concerned about. He is helping, and he'll begin the arduous process of feeding the dot matrix, paper into Tarnold's,
I assume Tarnold has,
slip
like,
or
an
something.
input,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
The idea that there's still paper involved, that's hilarious and super good. I love it very much.
All right. So you spend a good portion of the next couple minutes or so uploading these documents.
Forwarding
seat
them, send them back to Sapient Research.
Yeah. But you're now back in control of the BD514. What would you like to do?
Oh boy. Well, technically we have to wait and make sure we've got, clearance and certification to operate the vehicle any further. So we should really
start driving. We'll worry about that when we get there.
Just like squinches up his face.
I assume there's paper you can fill out for that. I don't fucking know. Just fly it.
Printing.
Perfect.
Fine.
I'm gonna take out like a pen that I have, and I'm gonna start signing his name as the paper is like printed out.
It's just like fuming while he probably gets into the process of taking off. And
I've absolutely copied your signature by now.
Yeah, right.
You're quite good at that.
Power up the BD514.
The little heart in R9.
Jet off.
How did you know?
Where are you going?
I believe we're heading straight for the fucking Gideron, the labor camp we just left, I think, right? Is that the idea?
Right. If that is your destination, that is where...
Well, outside it somewhere, I believe, but
I was just seeing if you were actually going to go to that or going to be leaving the planet.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea either. We didn't get paid yet.
No, Mark is...
We got to sort this out.
Yep.
If we don't, we will absolutely lose the right to our ship.
Right.
If we don't see this through.
Right.
Got to stop the war. It'll be better for...
We might get an employee of the month like plaque if we stop a war on duty.
But they're selling weapons. So
We
stopping
might
the war
get-
is kind of a bad thing. Anyway.
Well, I guess we're going to have to see how that turns out the next time that we meet. Because as the BD514 jettisons off from the resistance camp towards the Gideron Authority, that is where we're going to be concluding tonight's episode.
Awesome.
So good.
All right.
That went in a direction I was not expecting.
Yeah,
You
no,
didn't
me
see
neither.
the awaken this radio array up and no?
Wow.
Weird.
All right,
It's like
guys.
you don't even know your players.
Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was the Disastronauts. We do this every other Tuesday. Join us again for 2 weeks to see how the adventures of the Machine God and pals turn out.
Exactly.
We our next stream is on Friday. Next stream is on Friday. That's the misadventures of the Accidental Travelers. They are in the capital of Goldridge and trying to get out of there while trying to solve the mystery of the disappearing queen as well. And then on Mondays we do Old for Gold, which Mr. John over there is part of. His character died last session, so we'll
No,
be
he didn't.
Spoilers.
Right.
No, he didn't.
We'll be yeah.
He's fine.
He's fine. Yeah.
Can't pull that shit. Surtek's the only one who's allowed to make that joke.
That's
You're
great.
stealing my thing.
See you in
It's
court.
unacceptable.
If
yeah.
you enjoyed what you saw here, join our Discord. We've got a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of stuff that you can check out there. We got a website that you can buy some merchandise. We got Irrational Radio t-shirts, sweatshirts, and dice. And we also have a Patreon, so you can throw us a couple bucks and make things like this even better. So thank you so much, guys, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye!